Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ask a Scientist Gaming, where we combine mediocre gameplay with expert science. I'm Ken Hansen, Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry at Florida State University. I'm a photochemist / photophysicist. I shine light on molecules and then want to do something with that light energy. Well, first track that energy and then use that energy for useful things like moving electrons in solar cells or making and breaking bonds in photocatalysis. But more importantly, joining me today is Dr. Molly Hermiller. Molly, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah, hi. I am a assistant professor at Florida State in the psychology department. I study long-term episodic memory in humans, and I use fMRI to look at the brain while it's doing memory, and then I use brain stimulation to try to enhance the networks of brain regions that are supporting memory.
What do you usually teach?
So I just started last year. I'm only teaching one class. It's physiological psychology. So it's the undergrad 3004C. It has the sheep brain dissection lab component.
That's fun.
So, yep.
But you don't do the lab. You do the class.
I don't do the lab, but I know what's going on in the lab.
Do you wish you did the lab?
So last summer when I first started here, I did go and help slice some of the brains that they ended up dissecting. So
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Equally important. What game are we starting with?
We're going to start with Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
So
for those not familiar with this game,
it's on Nintendo Switch. It's really the first video game I really got into, I would say. I got it, or my partner got it for me during COVID. And I named my island Hippocamp. It's a little wordplay on hippocampus, which is my favorite brain region. But I have not played this it's been probably at least a year. Looks like it was winter. She's in her winter outfit. I got a lot of mail. But this is my house. We can go inside my house. And I don't know if there's really a point to Animal Crossing, except you make an island, you design your house, you move things around. So I bought all this furniture. Oh, here's my little seahorse. So the hippocampus. It's to represent I guess I'm giving away one of my...
No worries.
We'll just...
It's still early. You can give it away. It's fine.
I think my kitchen is in here. We'll see how well I remember my house.
And you have to collect things, or how do you get the money?
You collect things. How do we get money? I think you sell things. Yeah, you go around and collect. So this is my kitchen. It's pretty cute. Got a little KitchenAid mixer here. Monsteras. I love plants. So you can see I have plants in all of my
Reese's Pieces found the goal of the game. The point is to get addicted to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's like The Sims, right? Where it's just, you build a world and you're invested because it's your world.
I thought I could turn the lights on. I think this is my bathroom over here.
That's awesome. So you maintain, you troubleshoot, you build worlds, own your island.
Yeah, you run around. So out in the island, you can fish, you can go deep dive swimming and collect fish.
That's fun.
And then you can dig up treasure, you can collect insects.
And there's presumably achievements like build a house or plant a garden and stuff.
Find the high quality fish.
Yeah.
I think this is my guest bedroom.
See, that's what's brilliant. I mean, it's a game of psychology, right? It's like the slot machines. They're feeding into something reward centers that they just want you to see numbers go up.
It's kind of like, oh, this is what adulting is like if you were a kid. It's like, oh yeah, you build a cool house and you just, my job is just to run around and do things. This is my yard. There's fossils. Fossils is another way. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember how to get my shovel. And then you can dig up fossils. Okay, that's not a fossil. That's this thing. So this got introduced around when I stopped playing the game a lot. So I don't really know what the point of those things are.
Did you just bury it again? What was it?
It was this thing, a babloid.
All right. Yeah, so I played World of Warcraft back in the day. I don't know if you're familiar, like the South Park episode, most people have seen it, but it's the number of mice you skin to get good at leatherworking. Like it's literally just collecting numbers. And somehow you get addicted and
Oh, this is our music venue on the island.
Oh, you can DJ. That's fun.
You don't actually use it though. So it's just for decor. It's like, oh, a band's gonna come here and play someday. So I went around and collected all these instruments and set up the stage. Flowers, you get basic color flowers, and then based on how you plant them next to each other and if you water them and everything, then you get the gold ones. This is my partner's house. He has his own house that he can log in and decorate.
So how does that work? So you have permissions to like your world? Like you can let certain people in?
It's because we're using the same Switch account.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're on the same. But you can, if you have an online account, you can go visit other people. So one of our friends, Roxanne, she also got into this the same time we did. And so we could go to each other's islands.
Oh, that's fun. Lori has the important question. Is there a harp in your band? I think she saw a harp.
Probably. If you could find one, I probably found one and put it up
right
in there.
next to the DJ booth and the drums.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Good catch, Lori. Thank you. Every Animal Crossing band needs a harp.
Yes.
Just next to the xylophone. Actually, those two are paired appropriately.
I planted a lot of flowers. I had a garden up there. You might have seen all the pumpkins. This is the store. So every day you come in here and they have different things for sale. It's like seasonal things or like, ooh, really rare things. You have to go, these are the people that run the store. I don't know if you can hear their voices, but it's like they almost are speaking English, but not quite. Ooh, a piano. I don't remember if I have a piano. Ooh, and a fun little map thing. Okay, I can buy this.
Oh, that's fun. Does anyone recognize the equation? That's probably nonsense. Pi square root of 1 minus gibberish over gibberish.
I'll go ahead and buy that. It seems important.
Yeah. Totally worth it.
And I forget if I have a piano. I should probably get a piano.
How much does the piano cost on this game scale?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go to the bank. I only have 21,000. Yeah, you can buy different wallpaper over in here, different seeds. But my island is pretty well planted. It doesn't have that much room. But once you hit a certain level in the game, you can terra mine it. I think that's maybe the word for it. We can like move the water around. So all this water stuff we like built.
Yeah.
These little things you can craft and make them. So normally this is just a plain white booth, but then you can go in and design artwork to make the greenery on it, for example. And same with this thing back behind that backdrop. You can find different things online.
So if you're playing with other people, can they like destroy your house? Is there any competitive aspect to this?
No, I don't think so. Unless there's like a new update that I'm not aware of.
So watch the world burn update.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that happened, this is like the clothing store, so you can buy new clothes. Maybe I should buy like a summer outfit, but maybe later.
It's fun.
Right now I'll just give you a tour of Hippocamp.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, let's start with a tour of your life. So 6-year-old Molly did not think she'd be sitting here playing video games talking about cognitive neuroscience.
No,
and so there's a winding road that brought us all to where we are. And most people, especially students, have this perception that we knew this is what we wanted to do, and that is never really true. And so the question is, from 6-year-old Molly, maybe earlier, what were the major milestones that narrowed down? Like you started out in some area, you're like, I'm going to narrow to science, then I'm going to start thinking about psychology and the brain and in particular domain. What were the major milestones or events you remember that forks in the road?
I was always really interested in the brain and just the human experience. I have a family member who has some developmental delays, and so that always intrigued me of what is going on, what kind of therapies could help out, what's going on, how do we understand this? So psychology also was always interested in me. Just the human experience, I think, really always intrigued me. I didn't
like even when you were really young. That was just
when I was really young, I was fascinated by some of the therapies that I saw, like occupational therapy, some like listening and speech therapies. So I was really interested in like the mechanisms. I didn't know the word mechanism or what that would look like, but I was always intrigued with, okay, this human experience, our I guess the brain. I don't know if I would have said brain at the time is what I was actually interested in. So I thought I would go into like a therapy, like occupational therapy, speech therapy, something along those lines. And then but I never thought like I was a scientist. And I don't think I quite knew it was psychology until I took my very first psychology class. So I started off college majoring in speech and hearing science. I thought I would be a speech pathologist. Some of my cousins are a speech pathologist. I had shadowed them. That's what I was going to do. Okay, this person probably wants to move. That's why she has that little thought bubble. But she's really cute, so I don't want her to move off my island. So you have like 10 or so.
She's a prisoner.
Yes. She has like 10 or we have like all these different houses. Yeah. All of these houses are different islanders. And there's a whole bunch of different characters in like the Nintendo world that I don't really quite know, but I just know there's really cute characters.
That's amazing.
And I want her to stay.
That's awesome.
This little bamboo forest.
Your first psychology
Yeah, so my first psychology, it was the honor psychology class. I went to Ohio State. And I loved it. I was obsessed. I loved it. And so then I quickly...
And that was like intro to psychology, just
yeah,
broad.
just an intro to psychology. I can still remember that classroom.
Yeah.
And then I picked up a psychology major. This is the running trail that we made. So we terraformed all of this.
Nice.
And then they started a neuroscience minor. I don't know if it like just started or was whatever. I picked up a neuroscience major as well, and I also minor, and then I also minored in disability studies. So you can see like the whole human experience, how to brain behavior.
Yeah, how it's broken sometimes.
Yeah, or just how does even like a normal healthy brain work. And then I thought maybe I wanted to do clinical psychology. I still had no idea what I wanted to do. I don't think I really understood the idea of what a PhD is and what that entails until kind of like after undergrad, actually, because I was like, oh, maybe I want to be a therapist, maybe I want to be a neurologist, maybe a psychiatrist, but I didn't get into a clinical psych program when I was an undergrad. I don't think most people do, but I was involved with a lot of research programs, like one in a traumatic brain injury. And I guess I still like saw examples of scientists, but still never identified as one myself. Until I started at a post-bac job. I moved to Chicago after I graduated, started a post-bac research position a few years later in a neuroscience lab that did MRI, studied memory, did TMS, the brain stimulation technique I used. And then that was when I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is really cool.
I mean, how'd you stumble into that though?
Okay, so I feel like this is something that undergrads, I wish I knew an undergrad to get involved with like actual research.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, I'll come and data collect for you or organize your files, but actual research. I was not really involved in that kind of research as an undergrad. It did take me moving to Chicago, volunteering in like the hospital.
I see.
And then a professor from University of Miami moved to Northwestern. This is all Northwestern University in Chicago. He moved to Northwestern and didn't know anybody. So he wasn't connected to a bunch of undergrads already. And then I was volunteering in the hospital and they connected him to me. They're like, oh, Molly, she's looking to get into research. So I started working for him. And that was also a clinical psych lab still. So I was getting a sense for what that research looked like. But then he connected me with a neuroscientist who just started, who also didn't have like an army of undergrads that he knew already. And so when I started working on with him, that's when I knew this is what I wanted to do. And then I ended up doing my grad school work. I mean,
the other thing I want to point out to undergrads, particularly about that story, is a lot of luck and timing goes into every milestone we have. Like getting this job was just luck. Getting a postdoc, like timing. It's crazy.
And there's no rush. I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't get into like the first like clinical psych programs or that I was applying to originally, because I know now that that's not what I wanted to do. I would not have been happy in that line of work. And so I think not feeling the need to like quickly get into a research or a graduate program and just start something just for the sake of starting something. I did 4 years between my undergrad and grad school. And that seems like a lot, but I personally needed it. I wasn't, exposed to like academic research at an early age. I think there's some people that are, and they know that that's what they want to do, but I needed to like really figure that out.
So you applied to grad programs. That was in psychology or neurosciences?
So my PhD's in neuroscience. Okay. Yeah.
That's fun. So grad school, you narrowed down on a school you wanted to go to, or a project, or somebody you wanted to work for?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to. Joel Voss at Northwestern. So that is who I worked on on a big research project in that lab.
I see. So you
And yeah, he was just starting, and that paper got published in Science, and it like got him his first R1. So I kind of saw him, like he was starting his lab.
Yeah.
You kind of saw what that looked like. I knew that was the kind of research I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so grad school, you graduated. Did you do a postdoc?
I did a postdoc. I moved to New York. I did a postdoc at Columbia University. I worked in 2 different labs. One in a biomedical engineering department and working with intracranial electrodes, intracranial stimulation. And then the other was in the psychology department working with memory and MRI. See, I'm just kind of running around aimlessly right now. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I wanted to get more money so I could go buy that grand piano.
Everyone needs a piano to go with their harp.
Yeah. I'm reminding myself what my island looks like. It's been, these are like these lilies, I think that's what they are. They only appear if your island has like a rating of the highest rating. So these are like prizes.
These are very judgmental lilies.
Yeah.
All right, catching up on a few comments here. Misadventures, welcome back. Misadventures says, hello, doctors. Hello. You don't have to call us doctor.
Yeah.
I'm Ken, this is Molly. We're hanging out, playing some Animal Crossing, talking about cognitive neuroscience, drinking some alcohol. Misadventures. Oh, yeah. That answers the no morals and unlimited budget question. I think that was the prisoner you kept on your island.
Oh, yeah.
We'll call it an experiment. All right. Spaghetti Maverick, thank you for joining us. First time chat. Click the follow button. If you're not following, you'll get notifications about future streams, and you'll get points for the internet, which is awesome. Spaghetti Maverick said, anyone else here from Morrill? Morrill?
Oh, okay. Morrill. That is Morrill Tower that's the freshman dorm I lived in at Ohio State.
Wow.
So I'm guessing that's Chad.
That's fun. Hey, Chad. Morrill. Wow. I'm glad.
Morrill Tower.
I didn't feel lost there. Lori has a question. Who rates your island? What it's?
I don't know. I never really understood the rating scales. I think I don't know what this is.
It was a crab, wasn't it?
I think the game, it's like, if you have... Yeah, I think it was a new creature in the game. I've never... Okay, this person's still thinking about leaving, so we should just tell her no. I'm going to be moving away. You can't go.
No moral qualms here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he's not moving away. Okay.
Oh, man. Stick around. We'll see which one's darker. Is it Animal Crossing or Surgeon Simulator? It's yet to be known. But you definitely need a piano, according to AJ Hermiller. AJ, welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I need to get a piano. That's my mom. She plays piano, so...
So you grew up around piano.
Yes.
Your island needs a piano.
Okay. I need to remember how to fish here. I've been playing Stardew Valley lately. Okay, this is way easier than Stardew Valley fishing.
So Reese's Pieces said, I remember Animal Crossing graded your house based on feng shui principles.
Okay.
So your feng shui is good. You got some lilies.
No.
Wow. I did not know that, Reese's Pieces. Somebody has gamed the system. They know exactly how to bias the points.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have trash, branches and stuff around. I don't know.
Lori's question, did you grow up in Ohio?
I did. Northwest Ohio. Tiny town. It's called Glandorf, Ottawa Glandorf. No stoplights, barely 1,000 people. Yeah.
Oh. How big was the city?
Glandorf was tiny. But then my high school, it was joined with Ottawa. So Ottawa, I think, is probably about 5,000. So our high school was bigger. We were the big city school in the county.
Yeah. But you were the adjacent town and you got busted.
It was basically the same. It was, they were a mile apart. They're indistinguishable. It's.
Was there a railroad track dividing the towns?
No, there's lots of railroad tracks. I don't even know what would divide them. It's trees, a couple of cornfields.
Some arbitrary line. Anyone just joining us, Ask a Scientist Gaming, mediocre gameplay, expert science every other Wednesday night. Well, we try to, depends on the scheduling. We have a guest on that's going to talk about their expertise while playing some of their favorite video games or least favorite, or playing games for the first time, as will happen later tonight. My guest today is Dr. Molly Hermiller. She's an expert in cognitive neuroscience using functional MRI and studying things like episodic memory, which I guess we'll get into later. But if you guys have any questions, throw them in chat. We're happy to answer them while we... You're still looking for money for a piano?
So, no, this I'm showing you my collection. So all these fish in here are ones that I caught over the years, and you donate them to the museum.
That's fun.
Yeah, I kind of forgot how cool this was. But yeah, I should go find money to buy my mom a piano.
Your mom. That's awesome. All right, Lori's question, what are we drinking tonight? So there's the link right there. We're doing Luna Bay hard kombucha. So hibiscus spritz is the flavor we're doing. I think you're the first to bring kombucha on stream, so congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a landmark. If I'm not mistaken, this is like, it's like fermented mushroom or something, right? Like, how do they make
fermented tea? There's like probiotics in there. Fun
it's
flavors.
Supposed to be good for you, right? Like it's the gut bacteria.
Yeah.
But we filled it with ethanol, so that's not helping anything.
Yeah.
Different goals tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I guess this is a little like fun fact without the factoids, but
somebody can request a factoid. Use your valuable internet points.
It would be about kombucha. Well, I'll save that factoid for if anybody wants to. Oh, it looks like I have a whole new room of museum that I need to fill. So there must be a new update to the game that I don't know about.
You got one painting in there.
Oh, maybe this is the art gallery.
All right. Jen Rids, welcome to the stream. First time chat. Woo, Molly. What research are you excited about / interested in right now?
That might be my
Jen
sister-in-law, maybe. The
Rids.
name, I'm going to guess with the name. Wait, what was the question?
What research are you excited about right now? What's your...
Yeah, right now the project I'm working on that I'm most excited about is I have TMS working inside the scanner. I did this in grad school. It's essentially putting a magnet inside of another magnet and trying to get them to both work together. So it's a lot, but I got it working in grad school, kind of like a proof of theory. And the idea is that I'm stimulating a cortical target, like outside in the brain, non-invasive stimulation, and then trying to engage the memory network, like downstream deep in the brain. And so I showed that with this MRI TMS study that works. And now what I'm doing in my lab is I'm trying out different patterns of stimulation. So like slow patterns, fast patterns, and finding that it engages different parts of the brain. So different brain regions are more responsive or evoke greater activity to one frequency versus another, these slow versus fast. So that's the project that I'm most excited about right now, seeing that it's up and running. My team is successfully doing it, and we're getting really cool results.
So you use an electromagnet to try to match the oscillation frequency, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we're not matching to that specific person. So it's like the theta rhythm. There's slower theta, which is about 3, 4, 5-ish hertz. So hertz is like pulses per second. So 3 per second or 5 per second. And then faster would be like 6, 7, or 8 hertz. And there's these theories that certain kinds of memory rely on slow versus fast theta rhythms.
Oh, interesting.
And that certain aspects of the memory network are relying on fast versus slow theta rhythms. And so, yeah, I'm semi-matching to like the theory, but not to that specific person.
I see.
Yeah. If I was using like intracranial, like electrophysiology, then I could try to match.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just using MRI. This is the owner of the museum. So he's the guy I come and donate stuff to. So I can have him check out my fossils.
That's awesome. H. Barry, first time chat. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Molly. I need you to teach me this game.
Yeah.
Love the kombucha.
That's my friend, Heather.
Heather, thank you for joining us. H. Kaluman? Hi.
That's my sister.
That's awesome. JRNYC234. Glandorf is a village, less than 1,000 people.
That's either Jared or Jenna. My friends, they're in New York City, but they also grew up in Glandorf.
Wow. We got several generations here. Your undergrad dorm plus your town of 1,000. So I was born and raised in a town of 1,600, so I get it. That's small world.
Where are you?
Foley, Minnesota.
Okay, so another Midwestern.
Yep. living the Midwest dream. Tim Walls. Woo. Glandorf sounds like a town in Middle Earth. Yes.
Because Narnia, it sounds like Narnia, right?
Yeah.
So there's actually a Glandorf, Germany that a lot of the ancestors came from. So
That's amazing. All right. Wait, what? Huh? That is an amazing name. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the first time chat. That is amazing. Quantum Riddler. That's a fun name, isn't it?
yeah, that's Justin.
All right. Justin, it's clever. I appreciate the quantum. We talked about that. I don't remember when he was on. It was several months ago.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. Molly, the brain stimulation wizard from the mythical land of Glandorf. Somebody put that in Chat GPT. We need Molly Hermiller mocked up as Gandalf. Oh man, Spaghetti Maverick. Does getting a PhD ever become less miserable? Oof, it's got some weight behind it.
Yeah. I hope it does. If this person is getting a PhD and is miserable, it's definitely hard. It's hard. But I think trying to find what's rewarding about it and reminding yourself that you're doing science and it sounds like such a, if you're miserable, then this is not really the answer you want to hear. But I guess trying to find, oh wait, this is Chad. Yes, Chad, it does. I just remembered the username you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Well,
We can chat later, Chad. But
So there's some intrinsic problems to our educational system, and we've seen this in chemistry all the time, where it's like you go through undergrad and there's a right answer,
Yep.
and there's a grade you get, and there's a final achievement, and then you get in the sciences, and most of the time it doesn't work. You're not sure about anything, and you never get the right answer, because if you had the right answer, science would be solved, and it's not. And that's a discomfort not a lot of people can cope with. It's hard. And I think you see that in students as they develop, right? When they go from first year, and then third year when they really start to get it is when they transition. And
yeah, the first few years, I do remember feeling like lost, like, oh, these aren't my ideas. I don't have ownership. I don't feel like I own this. It doesn't quite feel like mine. And then my last few years of grad school, I think I really found a groove, like carved one out for myself. Yeah, it's not unusual. The first few years are
like most of your thesis to be written in the last 2 years. Like you spend your first 2 years bumbling around figuring out how to measure stuff.
Yep.
And learning language and stuff. You can even talk. So you are not alone. Grad school is hard. Mental health is definitely an issue for those reasons.
Yeah, I mean, postdoc is hard. Every faculty's hard. I think there's aspects of everything that are miserable. But I think trying to like be grateful and like, wow, this is what I'm doing. I'm pursuing this thought, this idea. Trying to find the rewarding aspect of that. Okay, what I'm trying to do right now is figure out how to go swimming. There's a way you can like deep dive. I think I have to figure out how to put my swimsuit on.
Adulting is hard is right, Lori. Lori has redeemed Take a Drink. So, Molly, cheers. Thank you for joining me on this crazy endeavor. Hopefully you're having fun playing a little Animal Crossing, talking with chat. So, Lori, thank you. Cheers. Always a pleasure. We should have a drink in person. Lori's actually our graduate advisor for chemistry. She works remotely, so she's usually not in town, but we have orientation coming up. So, Lori's in town. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Lori.
Cheers on that. Adulting is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard at every level. None of us have anything figured out.
No.
But grad students, I mean, I remember specifically maybe 3 or 4 major, like, it worked moments in grad school.
Oh, yeah.
If you have those, like, 2% life experience and that keeps you going, research is awesome.
Yeah, I think getting comfortable, I think once you realize that you're not always going to have the answers and that things don't always make sense, then the miserable aspect starts to fade away. Because once you get comfortable in the uncomfortable, comfortable in the unknowing and the uncertainty and like kind of that mentality.
Yep. Yeah.
And just also accepting that you might be wrong and that you're going to be wrong a lot. Okay, I can't find my swimsuit, guys. Oh, maybe
Ruined it.
I need to go in the shower, I think. There's like a shower curtain.
All right, catching up on some follows. H. Berry, thank you for the follow. Wait, what? Huh? Excellent name. Thank you for the follow as well. Freya loves Gordo's. is that Gordo's restaurant, I'm going to assume on that one? That's fun. Freya loves Gordo. Their first time chat was, here's the comment. I don't know why it's like, you see that? It like... Personal experience, LLY. I'm assuming that was Molly. Makes neuromod research really fun. I don't know why Twitch censored that. I'm genuinely curious what... Freya loves Gordos. What did you type there? Why does Twitch hate you?
Okay, I think oh no, maybe
on a related note, so I have a colleague in chemistry that does microfluidics. So he does like these, lab on a chip type blood tests and stuff.
Yeah.
Twitch won't let you write microfluidics, because it has like micro dick in it. So it has like this auto filter feature that's just amazingly broken. But anyway.
That's hilarious.
All right. I'm curious how that filter works. Wait, what's the most surprising, interesting thing you've learned as a neuroscientist?
Oh, man.
Man, that's kind of existential, because that's learning it about you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The most exciting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it.
Most surprising or interesting thing you've learned. I mean, take that.
Yeah, there's so many times when I've been amazed. The most surprising, most interesting. I'm having all these memories of like, wow, that's amazing, but I can't think of like the specific things.
The feeling of that was amazing.
Let's think about this, and I'll get back to you as one. One will pop up in my mind, but I mean, there's just so many things.
So Reese's Pieces has some advice for those of you in grad school. Commiserating with your PhD cohort definitely helps.
Yes.
Friends and family, social network.
Yeah, talking. Don't like, if you're like miserable, don't like talk about it. Find somebody who, and if something's wrong in your situation, then definitely tell somebody. If you can't tell your advisor, tell the program, like identifying the source of the misery.
Yeah. You talk to the Loris of the world, because that's definitely, vent to your grad coordinator, Lori says. She has had many students crying in her office.
Oh, yeah.
And it happens. I mean.
Yep. Yeah, I cried in Joel's office. I feel like it was the day he got tenure.
Wow.
I cried in his office for my own like crap, right? My own stuff. And it was like right after that we had I knew that we were planning like a surprise, the lab, we were planning a surprise, like woohoo for him. And I was like, oh my God, Molly, get it together. What are you doing? It was a rough day. It was probably like year 3.
Yep. That is the year.
Yep.
It's year 3 is the hump of grad school.
And I was like so embarrassed. I was crying. See these bubbles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so embarrassed that I was like tearing up in his office. I don't know if he remembers it, but yeah. So those bubbles, that means there's a fish down there. I think that I should be able to, if I had my swimsuit on, I could dive in and go dig him up. But I don't remember how to put on the swimsuit. Somebody has to be watching and knows how to do it.
We appreciate backseat gamers on the stream. We are not too proud to take advice. If anyone has advice how to deep sea dive in Animal Crossing, feel free to throw that in chat right now. Molly, we should do a question. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's do one of like the hippocampus ones, because I'm just going to give away the answer. Okay. Let's do that one.
All right, we're starting with roots of hippocampus. This is fun. All right, so anyone not familiar with Ask a Scientist Gaming, obviously we have scientists on, and Twitch does something called predictions, and predictions are usually used to predict game outcomes, like will Molly beat this level? Obviously she can't beat Animal Crossing, but you get the idea. Instead, we have hijacked them to ask you science questions. So you, the audience, my guest writes several questions, and you, the audience, can gamble your standard internet units, which are arbitrary points generated on our channel for watching or following. If you're not following, click follow, get 300 standard internet units that you can bet on these questions, and the more confident you are, the more points you should put behind it. Points are useless outside of this channel, but you can make us take a drink, you can request a factoid, you can unlock emotes, and you can have pride when you get the answer right. So we're going to pop a prediction up right now. The question is, the word hippocampus is Greek or Latin? What is the origin of hippocampus? Note you're on Ask a Scientist Gaming Honor Code. You can't look this up on Google or ChatGPT or whatever it might be. Question is, what do you know about Greek and Latin roots, and does it translate for you to the word hippocampus? So the word hippocampus is Greek or Latin. You guys have 2 minutes. Don't put it in chat. We're just going to assume that JRNYC doesn't know what they're talking about. You're all doing this wrong. Click the predict button at the top of the screen. So, sorry if you guys aren't familiar with Twitch. So there's a predict button right on the top of your chat. Click that predict button and you can add points on each side. I love the fact that both answers were given. That's my favorite. But yeah, depending on your degree of confidence, and note, payout is proportional to, the gambling on each side. So dark horse bets are appreciated and used regularly. So you guys have about a minute left. Don't put it in chat. Click the predict button. Put your predictions in there. And Reese's Pieces redeem take a drink. So Molly, cheers again.
Cheers.
You're getting a ride tonight, so that's nice. That's yeah.
I always get a ride. I never drive sober, no, like never. Just I don't drive.
I fully appreciate that.
Okay, I drive sometimes, but
so I didn't drive at all when I was in grad school. I was in downtown LA. It was like you could walk to everything, and then you move out and no public transit, nothing.
Yeah, I drove obviously in Ohio, and then when I moved to Chicago, I didn't drive, and then I moved to New York, didn't drive. So I'm just gonna see how long we can maintain that. One car family, and Uber and Lyft makes that easy. But this is what I show off my science camp I made here.
So my wife and I maintained one car family for 4 years, and then we had a kid.
Yeah.
And that ruined it.
Yep.
They ruin everything. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, question is, what is the drink? Astro, our drink tonight is Luna Bay Hard Kombucha. So we're drinking some hard kombucha. This is hibiscus spritz. So yeah, have some kombucha. Hopefully you guys have a drink in hand. Cheers to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Lori did a search. Online it says you can put your suit on with a wand. Are you holding a wand?
Yeah, I am.
Will the suit appear if you put the wand down? Can't put suit on with wand.
No, it's not one of my outfits. How do I... Well, that was pretty fun, but... I feel like it's I used to have it... I feel like it used to be down here as well, but... It's got to be somewhere in my house, like in a... Oh, maybe I can buy one from the store.
Oh, look at that. You have the arcade. That's fun.
Yep, made an arcade.
Dartboard. Pinball machine. That's perfect. All right, Molly. Word hippocampus. What is it? Greek or Latin in origin?
It is Greek. And hippo means horse, and campus means sea monster. So the hippocampus looks like a little seahorse, which is why in this house I had like the seahorse statue. And then in my real office, I have a bunch of seahorse things everywhere.
I mean, why did they converge on that? I don't know what the shape of the hippocampus
Yeah. So when they first were dissecting it, he took it out and laid it down. So Google, well, you don't have to, but you guys should Google just the hippocampus, and you'll see it looks like a seahorse. It also kind of looks like a Twinkie roll. Yeah. Or a ho-ho. What are those? The Hostess swirly ones? Depending on how you look at it. It's a very odd shape. Yeah. Like I still have to like orient myself to like what part of the hippocampus am I looking at here?
That's awesome. Okay. Misadventures. Oh, thank goodness. My high school Latin teacher would have been so disappointed. Respect to you for taking Latin in high school,
seriously.
Holy crap.
Okay, I'm going to try to find a swimsuit in here.
I mean, that's, one of the most valuable classes. So I changed majors 4 times from like athletic training, exercise science, biomedical science, and then convergent on chemistry. But I took all the medical classes, so I've dissected a human being actually, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of undergrads get to do that. But the most valuable class I took as an undergrad was arguably medical terminology, right? Because it goes through all the Latin roots and like the, pronation, supination, icalorus aeri, does it pertain to, like all those, because they translate in all the sciences, which is pretty amazing. So if you guys get a chance, take a medical terminology class, because they are super useful. If nothing else, it helps you with channel points on Ask a Scientist Gaming. So yeah,
I think I took a class like that too, but we did not dissect. We just learned terminology.
Yeah. I think okay, here's the comment about how to get the wetsuit. I think you have to go next to the ocean and press A to equip the wetsuit. Then you should be able to dive with Y. So maybe it only lets you do it when you're near the water.
Do I need to have it in my bag though? So I just bought one, but it doesn't get delivered until tomorrow. But I always had one, so I don't know where it's at. Oh, maybe there's like a storage bin in the house. I know where it's at. We need to go back to my house.
Oh, that's Misa. Okay. Misa said, you can also have, you also have to buy the wetsuit from the Nook store cabin.
Okay.
That's awesome. We got an expert here.
I just bought one, so if I don't have one at my house, then I'll have one tomorrow morning, in the game tomorrow morning.
Your island doesn't have Prime same day delivery. Those lilies are useless.
It's true.
It's amazing. Master Kathy Bate. All right. Molly, Cameron here. Would you guys rather live in Middle Earth or Game of Thrones universe, and why?
Okay, I don't know either. Okay, my husband's watching Game of Thrones, and there's a bunch of dragons and battles. Middle Earth is
That's
the
Lord of the
Narnia.
Rings.
Oh, I just saw that
Lord of the Rings
over the New Year, like the New Year holiday. And that Middle Earth seems more up my alley.
I think it depends where you live in Middle Earth, right?
Okay.
Like if you're hanging out with the elves, like life is good.
Yeah.
They're clearly good at healthcare and well educated and well read. Game of Thrones seems terrible everywhere.
Yeah, it really does.
That's like, 1400s Europe kind of die of an infection kind of stuff.
Okay, this guy just came into my house. I'm trying to figure. There's a way to access your storage. People are probably like, "Oh my gosh, how is she?"
They're judging you accordingly.
Oh wait, this game. Okay.
Man, this is what I love about Twitch, is a question about Middle Earth versus Game of Thrones universe. Answering
The
this
Cameron
important
married
question.
me. He was the guy who married me.
The officiant.
The officiant, yes.
Yeah. Molly is Gandorfina. Telling you, we need an image. Somebody generate that AI image. All right, and we cheers to Reese's Pieces, so I got that one. All right, just keeping track of chat. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about Middle Earth, Molly is happy to answer them. Or maybe some neurobiology talking about functional MRI. Did you say you put a magnet inside the MRI?
Yeah, the TMS coil. It's transcranial magnetic stimulation. It's a big coil, like big, and it sends electrical pulses, which generates a magnetic field that can permeate the skull and then induce action potentials in the brain tissue right underneath the cortex. So yeah, it's a big magnet. The MRI is a big magnet. They don't talk to each other nicely.
Yeah.
And separately, they both work fine. Like scientists are using both of these tools.
Yeah.
But there's something about when you try to combine the two of them that they both I think they're both like divas, and they both like to be the center of attention and like the cool instrument in the room. And so far we're going pretty smooth at FSU.
How strong is the cranial magnet?
So both the MRI is a 3T, so 3 Tesla. And then the pulses that the stimulation sends is about the same. It's also about 3, but it's just very, immediate.
Brief.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I got the wetsuit.
So it's like an electromagnetic coil that you put electricity in the field generates.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And yeah, you can send single pulses. You can send a single pulse to the motor cortex and get your hand or thumb to move around. So you can move around your motor cortex over here and get specific fingers or thumbs to move. Or you can send trains, so like specific patterns, and a lot of pulses kind of built into a train.
Yeah.
And so what I do is the trains that I send are ones that mimic endogenous frequency patterns that the brain generates when they're doing memory. So I try to enhance those patterns by adding more of that rhythm into their brain.
That's fun. Acid Dancer says you have to take your wand outfit off.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna do this, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna work.
It takes a village to go deep sea diving.
Man.
So
Okay, take that off. Put this on. Okay, now I can go swimming.
Still have the outfit on. It's a different one.
But it's on, and now I'm wearing do I have to take all this off? Well, now my pockets are going to be full, so when I go swimming... We're probably going to get a comment soon.
We're waiting for it.
Put the swimsuit on. We got the swimsuit on.
Yeah. It just said you have to take your wand outfit off. Put your swimsuit on, and one of them previously said near the water you have to press
Y.
A to equip the wetsuit, and then you should be able to dive with Y.
Let's go. Well, we'll just pick up the shells and stuff. Well.
Press A. Press A near the water. We are pressing A.
Yeah.
And it's just doing the wand thing.
Yeah, and the Y doesn't... I feel like it used to be Y, but...
Let's just dive with one.
Yeah, she used to walk right on in.
Expert science, mediocre gameplay.
I don't even know if this is mediocre, guys.
That's
I haven't played Stardew Valley. That's the one that
Put
might
the
be a
wand
little
away
bit.
first, I think.
Okay, let me just drop some stuff off. This is the little thing I can empty my pockets.
I mean, so kind of related to the conversation about putting two giant magnets together. I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously that could lead to a lot of bad things happening. And so one of our standard questions we like to ask is, what's the most expensive or most, I don't know, grandiose mistake you've ever seen in lab?
Yeah.
Heard of, I guess any anecdote is appreciated.
I mean, anything with the MRI not working is expensive. So, like, it costs... Like, right now, we're paying $600 an hour to use the MRI.
Jeez.
So if your task isn't working, or if the stimulator isn't working, or even like a subject doesn't show up, you lose out on that. So yeah, I would say anything with MRI is... Any little mistake you make with MRI is the big, expensive one. As far as like just a big mistake... You know, I don't use like chemicals, so I haven't had like anything spill. I use brain stimulation on people's heads, so we're generally very, very careful. Like, it would be very problematic if we made a mistake in that domain. So
Sorry, you forgot math. Good luck.
wait, what?
Just like skimming someone's brain all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I forgot my last name. It's fine.
A huge mistake. Yeah, generally it's... You know, oh, my task didn't randomize things correctly. Now that somebody saw like the same items 5 times, and we just wasted $1,200 in the MRI. And yeah, so it would be things like
$600 an hour is crazy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I mean, in your renting time, you guys have one. Where is your MRI?
Our MRI is at FSU. It's in the College of Medicine. So there's the psych building, and then the College of Medicine is right next door. So it's just we walk across the courtyard and we're there, which is nice. At Columbia, the MRI was like 20 blocks north, New York blocks. So it was not nearby. Okay.
And you have to compete for time with that then, with other, I mean, there's several. of you
Yeah,
guys that
first
do
come, first serve. So you book your hours.
Man. Does anyone like book in the middle of the night just to block out their time, or is it
Like log in and yeah, people can book whenever.
But do they actually use it middle of the night? Like
my group, well, the MRI has MR techs there that will run it during business hours.
I see.
But you can get operator trained to run it off hours. So me and one of my post-bac research coordinators, she's also operator trained. So technically we could run midnight scans. There is a group that they're called the Midnight Scan Group, and they purposefully ran a lot of their MRI studies in the middle of the night to capitalize on that's when the scanner's available. That's when we're going to be able to collect a lot of data. So there is the Midnight Scan Club.
Well, there's got to be somebody doing sleep monitoring in real time, right? Like
yeah, I was actually... Okay, this wand is... put away. Is this now how I swim? Ugh! I just want you to go. Got it. Okay, now can I actually remember how to swim?
And it's why to dive. Is that?
I think yeah.
You should also be able to dive from the dock. That's fun.
Oh, I really never.
All right, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. We got the swimsuit on. Mission accomplished. Woo! That's a GG's.
And I caught...
There's no way to win this game, but we just won this game.
Yeah.
Team effort, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We did it. 7 minutes ago, Lori requested a factoid. Molly, do you have a knowledge bomb you would like to drop on the audience?
Yes. Okay, I'll drop the kombucha.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have that lined
We've been
up.
alluding to it. So I just like kombucha. Back in like in my postdoc, I think is when I really got into it. But I would buy like a bottle that would last me 3 days. Just 'cause I would sip it. I wasn't gonna splurge and buy a bottle every day. But I've continued to like it. And so when I started at FSU last year and started teaching my class, I would just have a bottle with me. And I noticed like students started also bringing bottles of kombucha. And a couple of them asked me like, oh, should we be drinking kombucha? Is this something we should be doing? I'm like, if you like it, I'm not going to like promote like a health drink or anything. But a lot of students started drinking it. And even in my lab, I had, I think like 10 or 11 undergrads working in my lab, starting in that fall semester, going into the spring. And a lot of them, I got hooked on kombucha. And so now they go to Tally Kombucha, local kombucha brewery here. They've brought me some of the new flavors. And one of my undergrads that was working in the lab that she just graduated, shout out Olivia if she's watching, she bought me a home brew, like a home kombucha starting kit. So yeah, and I have to make the Hermiller lab flavor. So kombucha is kind of like our lab brand drink of choice now.
Misadventure Molly, are you with the FDA, Food and Drug Administration?
No.
Is it FDA approved? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because they do advocate health benefits, right, for gut bacteria and stuff like that. But it's anecdotal, right?
I think
like it's not.
Yeah, I mean, and my gut's pretty fine. I've never had like major problems, so I don't notice any like major benefits. Maybe there is something going. I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
There was a class.
Trend though.
Yes, there was. When I was teaching the class in the fall, my first time teaching. This wasn't the first class. It was maybe halfway through the semester, and there was a terrible smell in the classroom to the point where we decided to we called the facilities to report it, and then we went outside and had the rest of the class outside.
That's fun.
But when our building facilities manager came in, he walked up to the computer to see if he could identify the smell, and he pointed to my kombucha. He's like, "Well, what's in the bottle?" But it's not the source of the smell. I know it's the weird hippie drink, but
what's that brown stuff?
It did not.
Freya loves Gordos. Tell us about the Plochman's baggies, Molly. Plochman's baggies?
Plochman. Yeah. Okay, so that's the mustard baggie. I guess that would have been another fun factoid I should have kept in my back pocket. But okay, so with my TMS fMRI, getting it to work in the scanner, something that I want to do is see if the place I put the coil, so I'm targeting a very specific spot on the cortex, that is part of the hippocampal cortical network, which is the network brain regions that are supporting memory. And so I want the coil to stay there while they're in the MRI. They were in the MRI for about 2 hours. And so the idea is that they have to stay really still and for the coil to stay at the exact place. So in order to image that, I taped mustard baggies, tiny little mustard baggies, like the size of my thumbnail. They were probably drug bags that I got on Amazon, and filled it with mustard. And then the point is that mustard it has an oil in it that shows up really brightly against the skull in MRI. I just stumbled across Plochman's mustard after trying so many different things like medical oils, baby oils, so many different things. This was at Northwestern. Todd Parrish, he's the director of that imaging center. When he heard about what I was doing, like trying all these different oils, he just kind of jokingly said like, "Oh, you should try mustard," because he does like a food demo in the MRI with students just to show all the different contrasts.
Yeah.
So after it's going through all like gadolinium, all these different oils and contrasts, I went and got mustard, and it showed up the best. So my lab now, they make a bunch of little mustard baggies that we still tape to our participant's head. And then we have some mustard baggies that go around the TMS coil so we can compare the placement of the coil against that specific spot on the head. Yeah. And then Plochman's is a Chicago based mustard. So
doesn't matter which flag.
It doesn't matter, but I'm staying loyal to the very first one.
Somebody presumably has done this systematic study, right? Like they've taken all the liquids as contrasting agents and like the different flavors of mustard. Is this a peer-reviewed flavor?
Okay, well, we did reach out. Joel, my PI, grad school PI, he did reach out to Plochman's and told them that we were doing this.
Yeah.
And they sent us a huge box of all these different flavor, like all spicy mustard. Yeah. This was right around, I ran that study, I wrapped up, well, I still had the supplies. But it was when I left grad school, I graduated in 2020.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't able to like fully pack up my stuff and leave.
Yeah.
So we had a designated little locker at the MRI with our mustard baggies, mustard, all of this, like the weird stuff that goes into this at the MRI. And then Joel also left a few years before like COVID ended, where we could actually properly go in there, and he had never went and cleaned out that locker.
Yeah.
So it is funny to think about whoever's going to open that locker, if they haven't already, and found
amazing.
just weird things.
Misadventures. MRI is now mustard resonance imaging machines. That's amazing. This stream brought to you by Plotchmans.
Yeah.
No. Just MRI. But that's so those are the studies that get cited a lot, right? Like if somebody does that systematic comparison, they say this one works best. Everyone that uses that, regardless of the study, will cite that paper.
Yeah,
And those
yeah.
are the sneaky ones that get 10,000 citations.
Yep. I mean, you could buy like way fancier things, but they're like $150 for like a little box of 20.
I am genuinely curious why, like, you mentioned like gadolinium contrast agents, right? They use the nuclear magnetic moment to enhance the signal around it. Something in mustard does the same thing in a weird way.
I mean, I tried baby oil, vitamin E, so many different
That's
oils.
amazing.
And you think gadolinium, I had pure gadolinium.
Yeah, and that's like an industry standard, right?
Yep.
It's a contrast agent for the body, and nope, mustard. Mustard's the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Freya loves Gordo's. How innovative! This is Taylor, by the way. So that's
Taylor, that's the she's my post-bac. She works in my lab.
That's awesome. Mustard. But you guys still use mustard.
We still use mustard.
Which brand of mustard?
Plotchmans.
You did. You brought it.
Yep.
You can buy that locally.
Yep. Well, I bought it and had it shipped.
You had it shipped.
But yeah.
So your experimental section has that written in there.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
And my acknowledgement slides
Yeah.
have their little logo.
Plotchmans, brought to you by Conflicts of Interest. That's amazing.
They did send me a box of mustard.
That's true. Does that count as a in-kind contribution to your research endeavor?
Right.
Like
Maybe I should have a financial
disclaimer?
disclosure.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna hunt you down. All right, Robo Bo. Hi. What are some things you do every day that you consider normal but a non-scientist wouldn't?
Oh, for like my job.
Or even, I mean, something that you've learned in this realm of psychology, neurobiology that has changed a behavioral pattern or something. Like, I mean, there's actuaries that won't go skydiving because of the math, right? Like,
Yeah.
Is there something you can think of that's affected your life?
Let me think. I mean, I've been doing this, or I guess I've been like in this field now for over 10 years, so it's hard to think about. Okay, sleep. I sleep more. I actually pay attention to, like, I try to get more sleep. Like in undergrad, I would run on like 4 or 6 hours
Yeah.
normally a night, and that was not enough, but I was fine. Now that like freaks me out. If I'm not sleeping like at least 6 hours, it like stresses me out. Because I know now how
the implications
horrible
of
it is.
sleep. Yeah,
for your
like
brain and
long-term memory
Yeah,
formation and that affected you. I mean, that's an awesome one, actually, because that's one we can tell every single undergrad and they will not listen.
yeah. And I get it. I was there. I was running on no sleep and like surviving and thriving and fine and
Yeah, I'm sure we were fine.
yeah. Okay, there's
That's
this
amazing.
airport I kind of forgot about. You can go visit other places, but I think, are we like an hour? Should I switch to Stardew Valley now? Try that?
It's up to you if you want to.
Are people enjoying watching? I guess we could talk to these people more. This is my very first Islander. She's really grouchy.
But also, it depends how early you want to do Surgeon Simulator. If you want to do that in between the two.
Oh, yeah, let's do that because it's a little. I feel like Stardew Valley is very
Yeah.
similar to this. You just run around and look at my farm.
That's fair. Robo, I'm going to give you one follow-up on this. The thing I do differently being a chemist is you learn about quantitative transfer of fluids. Like you have, a certain amount in solution and you want to pour that. So you add water and you pour all of it. So when I do cough syrup, I'll drink it first, then add water to it and finish it to get the quantitative transfer. And none of those drops of liquid matter, but it was something that like I learned in undergrad analytical chemistry and it like damaged me in some way. So more than once I've done that excessive liquid transfer via dilution. So yeah. Not normal is what we'll classify that as. All right, Surgeon Simulator, we're going to transition.
All right. I'm gonna pop my little balloon.
Yeah, I got to change some chords. So,
okay.
Yeah, I should ask you a question while I play around with that.
I'm going to set this
Man,
here.
what do we want to do? I sent you the list. Man. Oh, here's a fun one. It's actually not on the list I send you, but a student actually asked me this at one point. If you were the host of Ask a Scientist Gaming and you could interview anyone while they played video game, living or dead, doesn't even have to be a scientist, just anyone, who would you interview?
Okay. First, somebody who's better at coming up with answers like this on the fly in front of people. Yeah. Anybody. Again, it's one of those things where I have like so many thoughts running through my mind, but I can't pluck one out.
Are you good on drink? Do you want another one?
I'm about. I could start another one. Yeah. Blueberry fizz. Yeah. We'll mix up the flavors a little bit. Okay, who should I have on? Okay, and somebody who's good at a video, like better. Better is like anybody, but can play a big game that I don't know how, so they can teach me. It's got to be somebody who's going to have a fun conversation. But okay, it also has to be somebody who might be normally a little bit guarded, because then when they're playing the video games, it kind of loosens them up and they might just say something. So somebody who has, it would be somebody who knows things about aliens and is normally like keeping it all secret. And then you get them to play a video game and see if you can get them to slip up.
Yeah, this is an interrogation for you. That's yeah. I like that. All right, let's transition to. All right, are you ready for this? So mouse and keyboard. And so if you click resume, it's going to actually show you the little tutorial on this screen. So anyone not familiar with Surgeon Simulator, buckle up, because this is a crazy one. Note, Molly has never played this before. She asked her students what games she should play, and they sent her a list that included it was a lot. It was a lot. Fortnite and Portal and all sorts of stuff, but Surgeon Simulator is the one we converged on. That's pretty easy to learn.
Okay, good.
All right, so AWER space gives you fingers
I see
and
my
thumbs.
fingers.
Okay, and then mouse is how you move your hand around.
Oh, okay.
And then the right button, right click, is going to move you down. So left click moves you down.
Okay.
And so you can pick things up, and then let go of that button.
Okay.
And you'll go back up. So, and then you're going to use the other button, the right click, where you can rotate. And you can move your hand forward and back.
Okay.
And so you're going to do surgery with these controls. If anyone hasn't played this, this is. Oh god. So yeah, feel free to try to pick something up. So go over it.
Oh no.
You're going to left click to go down.
Wow.
And then put your fingers together. Yep. There you go. Yeah. Grab the pills.
Okay. Yeah, I can almost get them.
So you have to rotate it so it flattens out.
Okay.
So that's the right click. It'll take a while to get used to this.
Come here.
Oh, this game is creepy. Wait, what? Huh? You are absolutely right. Surgeon Simulator. All right. So yes.
I did not get one.
All right. So let's get you into a game.
Okay.
Should we start with brain surgery? So I unlocked brain surgery.
Okay.
Just for you. So if you click on that one. All right, and go to this button right here.
Oh, this poor person.
Oh, man. So your goal is to do a brain surgery before they run out of blood. So they're going to lose blood progressively.
Okay.
So you're going to grab a tool. I recommend the hammer, because you need to open up the skull cap.
Okay. Oh, this poor person.
So while Molly's doing this, if you guys have any questions about cognitive neuroscience, functional MRI, memory formation, episodic memory, she's happy to answer them while she taxes her own brain trying to control this bananas game.
Can't even pick up the hammer.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
It's going to be a fun one. Oh yeah, Lori wants the cheap viewers on. So there's people that come on streams and they advertise. You can buy viewers for streams.
I think my wristwatch fell off too.
I've lost several a wristwatch inside someone's stomach.
Okay, I can move it.
Then
Okay.
you can do up and down
Okay.
if you go forward and back. Yep, so position it, press the down button, then wrap the fingers. This is harder than it looks,
You
ladies
guys,
and
this
gentlemen. I apologize. If you guys haven't tried this, go. It's on Steam. It's like $10. Totally worth it.
I think I lost the hand. Oh. What's over here?
The surgeon looks left-handed. He wouldn't be able to participate in any brain research. Do you guys, you knock out lefties?
Yeah, definitely a few years ago. Okay, I guess I don't get that one anymore either. I'm gonna be way more precise and use a little drill and just get one little hole in there. I recently decided I'm not going to anymore because it excludes a lot of people. And right now I just need subjects.
Yeah.
So maybe once I have like a bigger subject pool, I'll reevaluate that. Or if I really start to like separate my subjects into left-handed, right-handed, I see major differences that are confounding some of my results. But memory isn't super lateralized. If I was studying language or like motor control, and I think that would definitely make sense to determine your subjects based on their handedness. But I am not right now. In the past I have, but I have noticed in the field, people aren't so much anymore. It's not like...
I mean, so presumably there's some kind of like seminal paper that suggested that was an issue, right?
A lot of it is due to like just lateralization of brain function, yeah.
But is that an assumption, or did somebody like show something real?
There is, certain aspects, like language is very lateralized, your motor cortex and sensory cortices are very lateralized, and there's some aspects to memory that are lateralized, like some, like spatial versus verbal or like visual, but not to the extent of the kind of memory that I'm studying where it's going to be super confounding. I might realize in the future that it is, and so I might regret this and change my mind and go back to only doing right-handedness.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a few months ago, we decided in my lab that we're not going to exclude
for this game looks
handedness.
stressful. The backup music, the background music is jamming.
Yeah, he hasn't lost any blood yet. Oh my gosh.
Just grab the axe. Let's just commit.
Okay, first.
Move the bottle.
Okay, Marissa's the one that I think recommended I play this game.
Oh. Marissa's never played it themselves. They just wanted to see you. No, I don't know.
Oh, I just want to get one tool.
It's got to be the hard kombucha.
Yeah.
Hey, she has had 12.
Come on.
That makes perfect sense.
This poor guy.
Oh, so nothing's happening yet. His blood is fine.
Yeah, because I haven't been able to do
exactly. You haven't even
anything.
damaged him yet. So yeah, what I recommend is flatten out the hand like this. Like right click and level it out and flatten it. So it's, and then go down. So left click and then fingers.
Come on. Okay.
Don't drink and operate.
No.
That's general good lab policy.
I almost had whatever tool was over here before.
Yeah.
That got knocked off.
Yeah, just pick up one. It's
Okay, let's try this one. This one looks...
One in the bedpan. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I don't know why that's not picking up. That seems like it should. Oh.
I feel like my fingers are too fat. We need... Can I, like, buy a new hand?
I think you can change lefty and right.
Oh, I almost...
Oh. I don't know why that's not grabbing.
Come on.
I think it's because you're tilted like this.
Okay.
Go down a little bit. Like it's a little further.
Oh, okay. All right.
What I really want someone to do is animate what the person behind this looks like, because they're like moving their whole body rather than just their arm. Oh, you grabbed the pan and not the... All right, if you guys have questions for Molly Hermiller, she's happy to answer them. Anything we want to talk about neuroscience, the brain function, memory, put those in chat while she's trying to figure out brain...
this is why I didn't go to med school.
Surgeon Simulator, playing it for the first time note. I should see if Is there a surgeon simulator category on Twitch? Somebody is streaming this right now.
Oh, and yeah, I bet that is actually fun to look at.
So the record surgery, I looked up the speedrun record. What's your guess on the fastest surgery anyone's done?
Well, what was the goal of the surgery? Just to open up the
So
brain?
you have to take out the brain and then so if you go back up, there's a brain right there.
Yeah.
So you're going to take out the brain that's in there and put this one. It's a brain transplant. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to like cut it open and find the hippocampus.
No, you have
cut
to
out the amygdala.
Well, what you have to do, and I learned how to play this last week when it was on your list, is you have to basically break the skull and then flip the brain out and cut the, I guess, spinal cord and then pop the new one in there. Freya, this is giving the same energy as when triggers act up in the middle of our MRI task. What's a trigger? Triggers act up?
Yeah. So this is Taylor, right? Yeah. When we have the TMS inside the scanner going at the same time, you have to synchronize the timing of the TMS pulses with the MRI slices, so it's only like one of them are on at one time.
See. That's how you do it.
So it's like set up. It has to be within like milliseconds of perfection, and so the MRI sends triggers to our computer to tell it when it's doing its thing, and then our computer will send triggers to the TMS so it knows when it can go.
That's fun.
And yeah, if things ever get off, it's just like, why? What went wrong? And sometimes things just need a restart. So that's frustrating because like, okay, what was the problem? It's just things need to restart or need to be plugged back in or unplugged, plugged in. I feel like this is maybe more frustrating.
So grab your spacebar, thumb.
Thumb? Oh my! I haven't been using my thumb.
Oh no! Opposable thumbs, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, guys.
We have
Game
evolved.
changer.
We have evolved. Will the brain still have memories of the previous person? Good question. If one was able to do an actual brain transplant.
Oh my God! The thumb is thumb is the answer. Who would food? Oh man. Okay, I really do need that hammer, don't I?
Yeah. Well, so the way you do this, at least the speed run, is like you swing it. So like go to the side.
Oh, his poor face.
It's fine. Don't worry, we're
Come
doctors.
Yeah, right?
So now he's losing blood.
Okay.
We've made progress though. So hammer is the next step. This was her science aha moment.
Yeah. Oh,
We talked earlier about.
we're-
Oh no, he's bleeding out his face.
Oh my gosh. Q-chips won't help. Well,
Have you tried the second brain?
oh, he stopped bleeding.
Related to the aha moment. Did you ever have a "I made it as a scientist" moment?
Okay, I kind of feel like it happened this past weekend. So I was yeah. I was at, or maybe when you get your first paper published, or like your first like grant, mine were training grants. But this weekend I presented at the New York City Neuromodulation Conference, and I won the Pioneer Award. I was awarded.
Oh wow!
So that was pretty exciting and unexpected, and it kind of pumped me up.
Was it for the talk or was it pre?
Yeah, it was for the talk.
We got a drill, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Oh.
Don't know what happened.
I think he probably ran out of
Oh,
blood.
he just started.
Yeah.
Misadventures. Did he stop bleeding because his heart stopped? Instant death.
Yeah.
All right, let's retry.
Okay.
Let's do it again.
The thumbs, though, guys. We figured
Yeah,
out
the hammer.
thumbs. You gotta go for the
Money
hammer.
Lou, Lord Jesus. That is appropriate.
Whew, okay.
All right, but yeah. Anyway, you made it.
Yeah. So that made me feel. I don't think I made it. I think there's always more work to. Oh crap! I just lost my hammer.
But sorry, it was judged there. It was based on the talks, the presentations.
I think so.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool, and it was the other two. Oh, I think there was 3 other people that won it, and 2 of them were names that I've like known since I was in grad school, and like one of them I reference this paper in like all of my talks as of somebody who has inspired me and really did a really foundational paper to what I do. So it was cool to be like on the stage with him and be like, wow.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Okay, guys.
We've opened the skull, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. Okay, I don't know why I'm going over there.
Is that a Fitbit on the surgeon's hand? Yeah, you got to keep track of the motions, the steps. I mean, that is pretty amazing, especially, I mean, 1 year into your independent career, right? These are non-trivial milestones.
Yeah, it felt good because, I mean, you always, at least I have like a lot of like, I don't know, you did like imposter syndrome. Oh crap, I just like, let go. This is why I shouldn't talk with my hands so much. I dropped my saw.
We're learning. This is good practice.
Like, oh, the imposter syndrome. But I often feel like, no, I actually am an imposter. Like, I don't have the syndrome. I am the imposter. So yeah, you still feel a lot of that like all the time.
Makes you feel any better. It doesn't go away.
No.
I've been in this job 11 years, and I was like, when are they going to find out?
Right? Yeah. Or when are they be like, oh,
like,
you can't, you're not a scientist. What are you doing? You're not. So yeah, that felt good. And, you know, thinking about like applying for grants and stuff, it's like, oh, okay, like I am on the right track. I do have a good ideas, or I don't know. Oh, I can maybe still pick that. That's not going to get picked up again. Do you think I can?
Probably. I think you got to break more of the skull around there.
Oh man, he's quickly losing blood. Oh, this guy.
It's kind of fun when you get the hang of it. Like the control is.
Yeah, Oh. I'm getting closer though.
No, this is great. The hammer, I promise, it's gonna work. But yeah, if you got
I gotta just be able to pick up the hammer.
But yeah, that's a big one. So that was I made it, the first paper.
Yeah, first paper, I think maybe when I passed quals, that felt really.
One. Yeah, that's pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
And the music changed. Oh, that's interesting. As they start to die, the music changes. I didn't even notice.
Me neither. I was very distracted by my
volume,
hands.
If you guys need it louder. Wait, what? This is a murder simulator. So we've gone from imprisoning people on an island to bashing their brains in with hammers. Welcome to Ask a Scientist Gaming.
Welcome.
We are professors, well respected.
Okay.
Here we go.
Is my hand gonna rotate? No.
I don't think it'll go all the way around. It's fine. If you get it like sideways. And
there's a whole like chisel. Maybe like. I'm like nervous.
As long as you hold on to the hammer. Oh, there we go. That was a good swing.
Come on.
You should change to the right hand, maybe? Can you change the handedness? I didn't even know you could.
Ugh.
Maybe leave it up and then rotate it.
I think I'm gonna try to put it down without dropping it. Okay, this worked for me last time, but I need it to be on the other side of.
So here's what you guys don't know: is Molly's gonna buy this game next time she's on.
Yeah.
Speed strats. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Almost made it to the 19th century surgery. Yes.
Almost there. Okay.
But so one of the terms I saw in your bio is episodic memory.
Yeah.
So what are the classifications of memory, and what's episodic memory?
Yeah, so there's, procedural, like if we really just break it down into a few. Episodic memory, long-term memory, it's events for episodes or events in your life. Long-term memory, autobiographical memory is like a form of that, specific to like your own. Oh, am I gonna chop the brain?
We're gonna try. Look at that.
Versus like semantic memory, which is like your memory for just, I don't know where the blood came from in the brain. The brain doesn't have blood, but.
This game's so unrealistic.
Can I just like brush that off?
Well, maybe you can grab it. I don't know if it's chipped in back yet or. It's stuck.
Okay. Semantic memory is like your semantics, so like your memory for just like knowledge, or I know Paris is the capital of France. That's a form of versus I went to Paris and for my honeymoon I have this whole like episodic memory about Paris. And then procedural memory is when you learn how to like do like motor memory, right? Yeah. So learning how to like riding a bike. You develop that procedural memory, or just walking or running or playing this game. So those are different kinds of memory. And yeah, so I'm interested in those episodic long-term memory processes.
Let's see if you can grab the brain.
Okay.
See if we can get that. Oh no, the watch is gone. In the crate.
I probably need to get more of the skull. Oh! Okay.
So now you got to kind of move it out of the way, and then it's...
I feel like it's going to drop on the floor.
No, you want it to drop on the floor.
Oh, okay. Oh, what?
So
do I need to rip it off the brain stem?
So yeah, you see the stem, so now you got to grab one of the scalpels to the right.
Okay.
And cut that. So this side is... Yeah, there you go.
Just any of those.
Yep. All right, so sorry to interrupt. So we had procedural, we have episodic.
Episodic, semantic.
Semantic is like the factoids of...
Yeah. And then procedural is... I'm going to eventually have a good procedural memory for this, maybe.
It's really satisfying when you get
Come on.
because it's so frustrating.
Oh, I'm like shaking the lights.
No worries.
But yeah, to me, the episodic memory, it's like so important for just who we are in our human experience. You know, it allows us to bind like all of the details and features of our experience, stores and consolidates it and associates with some of our previous ones and makes these cohesive episodes and events and memories that you can tie back to your previous ones. Even just like your present, like us sitting here talking, we're relying on our memory to inform our present. And it adds a lot of, I'm just gonna accept that he's...
That's good, because Gohaku is redeemed Take a Drink, so Molly,
All
cheers. Here's to brain surgery. Gohaku, thank you for joining us. Anyone, hopefully you have a drink in hand. It's a Wednesday night hanging out. We have, a week and a half till classes start, so relaxing a little bit before the storm of the semester starts. So Gohaku, cheers. I'm liking the facial hair, Ken. This is laziness, actually. I usually shave like every time I give a class or something, but
yeah.
Do you want to try different?
I was gonna see if there was a right hand obviously in here, but maybe I should just stick with this because
I think the brain.
I'm getting used to it. Yeah.
You're drinking pina colada. That's awesome. We're drinking some kombucha. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, whoops.
Surgeon Simulator starting.
Yeah, but then even just like planning for the future, we also rely on episodic memory. So it's a really cool way for you to kind of mentally travel back in time to your past and inform your present. So to me, episodic memory is really beautiful and really crucial to just ourselves and our identity and who we are. That's evidence when we see people with like Alzheimer's and they just totally lose episodic memory. You can see how devastating that is. And then it's also just a huge mystery. Like, how does it work? How does memory work? Is just a huge mystery and just a huge mystery. So, job security.
Left hand. Wait, what? Why?
Okay, now it's right-handed, right?
So I'm checking the left-handed box. Yeah, it's righty. You want to do righty?
Let's try right. Maybe this is a good experiment. We'll see if all of a sudden I can just do things because I am right-handed.
All right, let's do brain. The eye surgery is interesting.
Even more precise.
Ooh, can Dr. Molly explain why brain surgery is done with the patient fully awake?
Yes, because generally when you're doing brain surgery, you don't want to damage the brain. So if they're awake, they can respond to you. So for example, you can go in and stimulate before you actually do the surgery. They will stimulate a specific brain area. So for example, if they're going to do surgery in your language area, or behind your language area, deeper in, they have to go through your language area. They don't want to damage it. So they might stimulate different areas around there and see if you all of a sudden start talking gibberish or even just like making noises, vocal noises. Or your speech is halted, and that might be a cue of, oh, don't go in through there. Same with motor. If you need to get through the motor area, you need to figure out where in the motor cortex or where in that area you can safely stimulate without totally disrupting a process. And there's also so you can do brain surgery.
I was trying to remember if it was a TV show or it was like an actual video where somebody was playing piano during brain surgery. Mm-hmm. And it was just the motor control, right? Like whether they had that. That's pretty intense. That's terrifying. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? The brain doesn't have pain receptors, so. Well, now the spinning hammer. That's interesting.
Why is it spinning?
Oh, you have a scalpel and a hammer. This is gonna get interesting real quick.
Oh gosh, I do. Okay, it's gonna spin out of my hand. Why was it spinning?
I wonder if there's high malpractice with brain surgery. Brain surgery is hard work. Is brain surgery? I mean, it's a risky surgery, but so there's surgeons. I don't know if you've heard of this. Like when they do surgery on the eye, right, and they're making micro lesions and stuff like that. They can't drink coffee in the morning because they're shaking their hand will be too big for their surgery, kind of thing. Is this the surgeon simulator or Dexter?
I lost the hammer again. I do feel, maybe it's just the placebo effect, but I do feel like the right hand is more intuitive to me.
I mean, it makes sense, at least visually, right? Because you control the right hand.
Yeah, because the thumb is where I expect it to be.
It's translating at least.
I mean, it's not like, I'm definitely not dramatically better at it, but it feels like it makes sense more.
Well, I like that strategy. I was going to go buy this game, but why is the surgeon only using one hand?
Oh, yeah, good point. Where's my other hand?
You only have one mouse.
And why am I the only one in here? Why is there nobody helping me?
Surprise, you're a serial killer and this is your basement. So, what surgeon uses an axe? The surgeries are pretty violent. Like,
That's what I've
you've
heard.
seen like knee surgeries and stuff like that. They're pretty aggressive with how they. This patient is. It looks like this patient is quadriplegic. Well, if they weren't before.
Yeah,
they
I'm really hurting them.
now.
Okay.
Nurse. All right. Misadventures. As a neurologist, does Molly have any takes on attempts to create human-level GAI? GAI? I don't know what GAI is.
I don't know what GAI is, and I'm also
assuming
not a neurologist. But as a neuroscientist, I'm guessing it's some sort of AI, human level GAI.
General AI. Okay.
General
yeah,
AI?
human level general AI.
I hear a lot about it, but I'm very I'm not like super engaged in like the AI community. So I don't think we're quite there yet. I think it's interesting, and yeah, maybe one day we will, but I think there's still a lot of like, I guess I have a couple of thoughts about it now that I'm saying things out loud, but I don't think we understand enough about the brain to truly be able to artificially recreate it. But maybe that's the point, is we don't have to completely understand what AI is doing as long as it's
doing what it's doing.
Yeah,
right?
and yeah, it's hard to tell like if the outcome is like, oh, you guys are both playing the video game the same way, or you guys are both playing chess, or you're both creating written pieces of work, but the process to get there isn't the same. Would we actually know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I wrestle with that too, because people complain like you're not recreating the brain, but it also, we don't really know how the brain works anyway. Right. Like, we have a pretty good idea, but and
having some process that gets to the same output might inform us to that. So So what was the question?
Oh, it was about the AI, just general AI.
Any takes on attempts to create human level GAI?
I mean, one thing I like about it from, a naive perspective is it's not that dissimilar to human learning, right? We just intake a whole bunch of input and we generate a new thing, which is what these generative AIs are doing, right? They'll look at a bunch of art and say, this is new art. Yeah. And so I don't know, it's intriguing at the very least.
Yeah, and a lot of human learning is by error. So error is what like helps us learn and helps us remember and stuff. So if like right now AI is, again, I'm not like totally I'm not at all like super informed about just AI in general and the different platforms. I know there's chat. Okay.
GPT.
GPT. Yeah. I always say GTP and get teased. So I'm always like, wait, which one is it? So yeah, that's my level of it. And I hear a lot of people like complaining that it's not that great. Some people think it's great, but the fact that it is making mistakes, I think that's just how learning is. So hold on, let me like focus on remembering how to turn. Oh. Yeah, sorry, I don't have
no worries.
A lot of AI
right.
and conversation.
Gohaku has a serious question related to the brain as well as this game. How does one replace the skull? Because they do open up skulls, right? They saw through and...
Yeah, they probably just add like I don't know. I've never thought about that.
I honestly think they just like staple it back in, right? And then they just grow
maybe
it back together.
Maybe a steel plate. So yeah, I know they like for when they place like grids on the on the cortex, they'll saw and take it off. So it's like in one piece, like obviously not like this, or they'll just drill really little holes if they're doing depth electrodes.
Yeah.
So
I think it's mesh and grafting is what Freya said. And that makes sense. You're just grafting it back.
Yeah.
On, right? Like.
Oh.
Misadventures. Okay. Asimov had an idea in science fiction that we may need psychologists for robots to diagnose behaviors.
I think so.
Jeez, that's intense.
Yeah. Okay, maybe the right hand isn't.
No worries.
I was like, oh, it makes so much better with my right hand.
I mean, we can try other surgeries if you want to. This one, it's level 3, actually.
Okay, what's the level 1?
It is a heart surgery.
What's level 0?
Nope, heart surgery, and then I think it's kidney removal.
Oh.
Right hand was the dominant hand. Relevant question for your guest. Has TMS been shown to improve depression outcomes?
It has, yeah.
Oh, wait, how did I...
Yes, it has. That is one of like the early, besides like the motor cortex, just for the, oh no. Yeah, so a lot of depression, or a lot of TMS is used for depression, treating depression. And there's, a lot of evidence showing that it is just as effective, in some cases even more effective than medications. And the cool thing about TMS is with medications, you're flooding your whole brain and body with a drug, chemicals, and it's not going to a specific, spot in your brain. Whereas with TMS, you can deliver that stimulation to one specific spot, and it will affect like a network, and it will spread and everything. But you can be a little bit more focal about it. It's not, a pill that you're taking that takes months for it to set in. So yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting stuff coming out of TMS, and not just depression, but other psychiatric disorders.
Poor Gohaku. I'm losing my dinner over this game.
I know.
Sorry, we didn't give you a heads up on Surgeon Simulator night. That's the thing. Should I make every guest play Surgeon Simulator?
I wonder, can I reach down? Oh, maybe I can get down there and get the hammer. I think the hammer.
You can reset too. I mean, you're going to hit escape and just restart
Oh, man.
Just restart. No. So TMS induces serotonin?
That's one thing. Yeah, so a lot of the main properties with TMS that I really focus on are how it will change the electrical activity in your brain. I don't directly measure the electrical activity, but our brain uses both electricity and chemicals to work, to function, to communicate. So electric signals are what are signaling for the chemicals to be released. So a lot of our brain is using, or all of our brain is using electricity. So what TMS is doing is actually modulating electrical potential in the brain. And that can, of course, alter chemical neuromodulators and stuff as well. Serotonin would be one of them. Yeah.
Makes sense. We should do another prediction. I've fallen way behind. It's 9:30 already. So.
Oh, wow.
What do you want to do? Which...
Let's do this one. It's kind of relevant.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's directly relevant to gameplay and your expertise. I love the overlap here. It's all coming together, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, look at this. I figured out a good move.
Swing. Oh, hammering. Look at that.
Oh, you got closer.
That's some veteran. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're putting up a prediction. If you guys aren't following the channel, click the follow button near your standard internet units. You can gamble them on this question. We're going to ask you a science-related question related to our expertise of our guest. Brain stimulation requires surgery. Is that true or false? We're seeing surgery right now, but is that required to stimulate the brain? Yes or no, true or false? Put your predictions in there now. If you're not used to this, at the top of your chat, you'll see a predict button. Click that predict button. It'll give you 2 options, and then you can bet any amount of standard internet units you'd like. These units are useless aside from making us take a drink or at requesting a factoid or unlocking emotes on this channel. Also, it's proud to get the answer right. So feel free to put your predictions in there. Brain stimulation requires surgery, true or false?
Oh my God, it's so hopeful. I thought I really had...
It's not bad though. It's working right in the top. I hope you don't need that part. What are you damaging when you hit
That's just
there?
the vertex. We're fine.
Yeah, so what
No, it's like, yeah.
what do you lose if you damage that enough?
It's like the motor cortex and sensory cortex is up there. So some pretty important
I
stuff.
love the fact that our guest has enough expertise to tell us what they're damaging inside the brain right now.
Okay. Now we're getting to the prefrontal cortex, so this is a little...
Is brain stimulation an outpatient surgery? That's fun. Let's answer that after this one's over. Haku.
Come on.
I'll catch up on those guys. Let you focus on gameplay. That's pretty good.
I'm getting so close. Oh wait, I don't have much blood left.
I think if you get that back chunk though, you're open.
Yeah. I don't do well under pressure though.
No worries.
Look at this. Oh,
no, broke the supports. No, it's a lobotomy is right.
No.
Oh, that's good though. You got all the. Now you can just grab that brain right out of there. Oh, we're making progress. I feel like we're doing it. DOA, bro. All right, Molly. Does brain stimulation require surgery?
What did people say?
So it was, so you can see the raw numbers.
Okay.
So 1 person said true, 6 said false.
Okay.
But they gambled more on the true question.
Okay.
So what is the answer?
It's false.
False.
There's some kind that does need surgery. Intracranial stimulation would.
So that's what they do for like Parkinson's, right? They actually insert
epilepsy. So with epilepsy, you don't need to have the stimulation, but like one of the projects I was involved with in my postdoc is people that have epilepsy, they're going in for surgery to have that part of their brain either ablated or removed. While they're in there, they're recording. So they have all these intracranial electrodes implanted around the hippocampus and medial temporal lobe, which is my favorite part of the brain. Those also are the part of the brains that are typically involved in causing seizures. So while they have those electrodes in the brain, they're performing different memory tasks, or they agree to. Not everybody does, but some people do. And even more, or even fewer people, but more people nowadays, are also agreeing to have stimulating electrodes placed in their brain as well, just for the sake of science, so that we can deliver some stimulation directly to the brain, intracranial stimulation. That does require surgery. But more common non-invasive brain stimulation techniques do not. So TMS, what I do in my lab, I do not do brain surgery, so you guys don't have to worry about that.
be judged accordingly. All right,
Yeah.
Go Haku has redeemed Take a Drink. So Molly, cheers again.
Cheers.
So one more patient gone. Making progress though. We opened the entire skull cap on that round, so
I'm getting closer, guys.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Is this a lobotomy? No, lobotomy is only removing one of the lobes, right? What's a full brain removal called?
A brain oddity?
Braindectomy? I don't know. But yeah, we're doing a brain replacement surgery here, so we're making progress in the right direction. All right, Go Haku, is TMS therapy similar to an MRI? Oh, that's interesting.
It's pretty different. I would say,
Less targeted, right?
yeah, so an MRI, you're imaging.
Just restart, hit escape.
Okay.
Yep.
MRI is a
Beats
technique
rep.
where you're imaging your whole brain. So it's just a neuroimaging method, non-invasive. You just have them go inside of the scanner. It's like a great big, donut, but without seeing a proper picture. It's like a big hole, a tube. You lay in a bed. They pack your head in so you can't move, and you wear this like big old helmet that has that's helping taking pictures of your brain.
And for the most part, that's a uniform field, right? It's like, it's
Yeah.
not targeting anything. It's
Right,
just,
right.
distributed.
And then TMS is you're delivering the magnetic pulses. So MRI uses magnetic energy to read to read your brain. TMS is inserting that same kind of magnetic energy, magnetic field into your brain to try to modulate it.
And TMS, that's what's the...
Transcranial, so going
Transcranial,
through
so it's brain
the
specific.
skull, magnetic stimulation.
To follow up by Gohaku, is brain stimulation an outpatient procedure?
No. I don't think so. I mean, the ones that I know of are like, yeah, you're in the hospital for weeks and they're recording your brain. I mean, again, without being a real surgeon, and we were like medical doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe there are some that are outpatients, but my gut instinct is no. And just the ones that I know of and I'm aware of, I would no.
Yeah. So on a related note, Miss Adventures wants to know, has Molly followed Neuralink's progress? So the Elon Musk brain implants.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the most current thing is. I think they have two patients now, right?
Mm-hmm,
yeah. He's doing stuff that's very similar to what is already going on, what we're already doing in the academic and medical field. We are implanting people with electrodes, trying to do a brain-computer interface. The one that I know of, that when I first learned about, this is, I'm like not paying attention to it.
Just keep the hand.
Like Battelle, it's like a company in Columbus, Ohio. I did my undergrad at Ohio State. And so I remember always being amazed by their research with people with like spinal cord injuries.
Before you start them bleeding, cheap scientist has redeemed take a drink. So Molly, cheers again.
Can I switch back to this one?
Everyone, hopefully you have some kombucha in hand.
Woo-hoo.
Playing some hard kombucha while playing surgery simulator. Cheers to every time a patient dies. Thankfully, it's all simulated. Are you having fun with this at least, or is it frustrating?
No, I'm not. I'm not taking it too seriously. Unless people are getting bored watching.
No, they love watching people die. It's great. I don't know. This is a fun game.
Come on.
The thing is, if you're just watching this, you're like, this is easy. You should be able to control this, right? But it's hard, you guys. The controls are very weird.
Yeah, I guess this kind of is in line with Neuralink. I have more respect for not that I didn't have like a lot of respect before for engineers and the neuroscientists who are working on brain computer interface to replace hands, people that lost their ability to move their hands. I mean, that's obviously way more difficult than this, but trying to figure out like the intricacies of how to replicate our just motor movement that we take it for advantage is.
So, follow-up question. Well, I guess this could be a series of questions depending on how you answer them. It's like, at some point, there's going to be a brain implant or a helmet that somebody wears to control a computer mouse.
Yeah.
What's your best guess on the timeline of that being functional? Let's say optimistic and pessimistic. What's your bracketed time window?
Yeah, optimistic. I wouldn't be surprised if in at least 5 years we see somebody who has lost control or ability to control or use their hands now have something where they can do whatever they want to do with their hands. And at least one patient, maybe 5 years.
So when does this become a Best Buy commercial product?
Yeah. Like where even if somebody had control, they would prefer to have.
Yeah. Like I can envision scenarios where I would love to type with my brain rather than my fingers, right? Like a keyboard interface kind of.
Yeah, we're just. It wouldn't be like a medical need.
Yeah. It would be recreational augmentation of human electronic interfaces.
And you could like choose to have it. It probably won't be covered by insurance. So, but if you could choose to have it, maybe 15 years?
15 years.
20 years?
Follow-up question. Would you get that surgery?
Right now, no. I mean, but I guess, no, I would not, I don't think. If I had a medical need for it.
Yeah. What if it was proven to work or demonstrated thousands of patients? Would you ever?
We provide free personalized education that is engaging.
Maybe.
This is done primarily through our daily.
Oh, sorry. Apologize.
My guy's talking to me. I learned the patient's waking up.
So we just got a raid, actually. We got a raid from Actual Education. Actual Education, thank you for raiding us. Thank you for bringing people over. We are talking with Dr. Molly Hermiller, who's playing Surgeon Simulator while talking about neurobiology. We're Ask a Scientist Gaming, Mediocre Gameplay, Expert Science. We have a guest every 2 weeks, and our guest tonight is a neuroscientist doing brain surgery. If you've joined us right now, you're here at an interesting time.
Yeah.
We're doing our
Welcome.
best. But yeah, Actual Education, you guys should check out their stream. Education, science education streamers unite across the board. So yeah, thank you for the raid. Thank you for joining us. So Actual Education is a 501c3 nonprofit that rewards students for learning math and science, which is awesome, which we totally advocate for. Let's use Twitch as the medium to get science out there, particularly brain surgery with a hammer. So Actual Education, thank you for the stream. They know some neuroscientists at UCLA. UCLA has a very good neuroscience program, if I'm not mistaken. They're very strong. Well, that's awesome. So Actual Education is part of TKF, which is the Knowledge Fellowship. There's this compendium of people that do education-related streams. So yeah, small world. Thank you for joining us, Actual Education. Click follow. You get notification about future guests. Every 2 weeks, we have a new scientist on. TD Stock Market, thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're enjoying brain surgery. Go Haku's getting sick from it, but that's fine. Oh, God, you got the brain
I
off.
know.
That's progress.
That's the furthest I've gone so far as...
Yeah, and then we just need a scalpel to cut the spinal cord, and then you just insert a new brain. This is how actual brain surgery works, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, if anyone has questions for Molly, she's happy to answer them. We should probably put up another prediction. Which one do you want to do?
I think we already kind of... Well, maybe we didn't. This one was kind of fun, right?
Yeah, let's do a tech question. All right, so anyone not familiar with the stream, we do predictions, but our predictions are science-related questions that the guest writes ahead of time. I make all my guests do homework. Molly, I apologize. There's a long sequence of emails where we converge on answers, but thankfully they come up with some awesome questions. So if you guys aren't familiar with the predictions, click the predict button at the top of chat right now. We're going to answer the question: MRI technology is greater than 50 years old or less than 50 years old. This has become ubiquitous in a lot of medical scenarios as well as research. But the question is, how old is that technology? When was the first MRI performed? Was it greater than 50 years ago or less than 50 years ago?
Maybe in humans. Should we specify
in humans,
that?
yeah. We'll specify in humans. So I'm sure they started with tissue first and really early measurements. Oh, that's fun. Actual Education. Ooh, she does functional MRI research. I was a test subject for one of my friend's dissertations.
Nice. I was a test subject in many.
That's awesome. Actual Education. I'm going to assume you're not left-handed. Interestingly, we learned earlier tonight that sometimes left-handed people are ruled out of types of studies because of, I guess, concerns about what it's actually measuring.
I forgot how to do. I'm I got so used to the hammer now. I'm like, wait, what?
It's the kombucha.
This would be
kombucha is adding up.
We'll blame it on the kombucha.
Oh, that's fine. It's, but if you get sick of it, let me know. We're not going to force you to play it. We could try the as well.
I'm losing my empathy for the patient. At first, I was so hesitant to come in.
That's amazing. All right, you guys have about 30 seconds left. MRI technology is greater than 50 years old or less than 50 years old. Put your predictions in there now. No dark horse bets. We have no one going less than 50. Everyone said greater than 50. Someone put it in there. Oh man, these are an interesting taste. It's very.
Do you like it?
Right? No, I do.
It's not
enjoy
super sweet.
No, it's.
These are probably these are sweeter than the ones I just drink, the non-alcoholic ones I drink.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be much more I guess it's kind of like a sweet tea, but slightly different on that front. All right, so everyone said greater than 50 years old.
Oh, I'm in his neck. we're just gonna.
All right, Molly, what's the answer? Is it less than 50 years old or greater than 50 years old?
It's less than 50 years old.
Less than 50. Everyone got that wrong.
Yeah, I mean, There's probably some derivatives that you could really trace back, but yeah, it was like developed in the 1970s. The first one in humans was done in 1977.
Wow. So
And
we're
then-
coming up on the 50-year anniversary.
Yeah,
but
and
not
that's,
there
thinking
yet.
about like structural MRIs, just MRI in general, then functional MRI, where you're actually looking at brain activity and changes due to a task. That was used for cognitive neuroscientists starting in the 1990s. So I am older than MRI, the technology I use.
Wow.
Which, yeah.
That's intense. So
Yeah.
everyone got that wrong. Congratulations. But everyone learned something today, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and TMS is a little bit younger. It was first started in like the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual education, real talk. I thought it was 1950 and then realized 50 years ago was 1970s.
Right?
Yeah. There's probably a deep-seated psychological cause of that, but it's like,
Yeah.
it was, 1970s. That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
feel like my time reference is always like 2010.
Yeah. Well, I
So
really
30
hate when people say like, "Oh, we're closer now to X event than we were when you were born," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the spacing on each side. So I feel you actual education. Those tiers are real.
Okay.
It's like with music. Our idea of what good music is depends on what we listen to in
Yeah.
our 20s.
Yeah.
Like that's well known. So that's an episodic memory thing. That's like
I don't know. I feel like it's more emotional, right? And like, I feel like memory has a lot of emotion. But I feel like I remember all the lyrics to the songs I listened to at that age. Without even like really trying, but
yeah.
yeah, that's probably a interesting relationship between memory and emotion. And there's a really cool relationship, or not relationship, but I feel like I'm getting really. This is a good one. Anyways, patients with Alzheimer's, they might not be able to carry a conversation, but you play music from.
Oh yeah, and they just
Their favorite kind of
immediate-
music,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they can sing, and it really like transforms them to a happier, better place. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like maybe music is. This is something I've been thinking about lately. Is music a separate memory system from like our episodic and like the memory system that is affected by Alzheimer's? And can we learn what that is and try to figure out how to strengthen that and integrate that with our episodic memory system that is affected by Alzheimer's? And maybe there's an interesting link there.
Yeah. No, that's intriguing because that's like, I mean, it's weird because Alzheimer's like knocking out portions of the functional brain and you're seeing what's left and what manifests.
Right.
It's like a negative control, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
And it just reminded me of a paper. We talked about UCLA. Dave Cluett at UCLA. I think it was him who'd had a episodic memory paper, and it was with different kinds of music. And they actually hired different musicians, like real life professional musicians, like symphony members, to play and create different kinds of music that evoke different emotion. And I don't think I mean, maybe he's working on it now, but I don't think there was any like aging or Alzheimer's component to this study. Yeah, I just thought of that study. And it was,
Yeah. No, that's the actual education. I used to go to Alzheimer's homes in high school and play cello.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
interesting to see how they would change behavior when listening. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Brain is hard.
It really is.
Unless you hit it with a hammer, then it's mushy.
It actually is like pretty soft and mushy.
Try grabbing it. I think you got it.
You think I got it?
Yeah, I think that's enough. What I should really do is I should put together like a 60-second clip of like your progression and expertise in handling this.
Oh, I feel like I can't get in there.
Might be grabbing the skull. Misadventures. I recall hearing that music has a different pathway than language. Oh, it's just not coming out. All right, I misled you. I apologize.
Yeah, language is usually left. A lot of your language areas are in your left brain, whereas some just like musical and more creativity is, we're not fully like left brain, right brain,
Yeah.
but tends to involve more of your right brain. But like what I think is interesting is lyrics, because lyrics are language
Yeah.
set to a tone, and so like at one point there is a lot of integration there.
Well, I mean, but what's intriguing is, regardless of where you were on the planet Earth, you knew the lyrics to every Michael Jackson song in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't language, it was sound, right? It wasn't
Right.
formalized compositional language. Lori has a comment. Music can do amazing things. When I was in grad school, a colleague in music therapy's research was using music to help simulate the suckling from newborns having difficulty feeding. That is intriguing. So like you turn on music and it starts suckling. That's intense. Oh no, we got floppy head again.
Oh, I got distracted by that cool like. Okay, do I have enough? Oh, if I could just get that brainstem cut. Oh, for some reason.
No, that thumbs up magical. Get it in there.
Those thumbs are magical.
Tilt it down.
Okay.
Oh, so close. We're gonna cut out a brain tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's only 9:53. You got 30 minutes before we have to bust.
Is this the first time you've played this?
Yeah, on stream.
Okay, so you've never seen a successful brain surgery here yet.
So I watched the speed runs. So I did learn this and beat it, but no one has played this on stream. Which I think I'm going to. I'm on stream. So we do a graduate admissions Q&A every fall.
Yeah.
So it's part of our recruiting effort. And
that's cool.
I'm the chair of our admissions committee. So I get to be the guest on Ask a Scientist Gaming. So I might play some Surgeon Simulator. Because it's just
maybe
fun.
we need to do that too, the neuroscience department.
It's a lot of fun. Like students, they come by, they ask their anonymous questions, but also we get to hang out and like show that we're human. We're not intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, so we email out to any PUI we know, any collaborator, anyone that's willing to send us to. We got a syringe.
Well, it's gonna be fine. It might cause bleeding though. How do I drop that?
Get all the fingers on there.
Without dropping. Okay, get out of here.
Perfect. Is this a Twitch first exclusive? At least for Ask a Scientist Gaming, there's actually 10,000 followers for Surgeon Simulator on Twitch. We looked it up earlier. So there's a healthy audience that wants to watch Surgery Simulator. This is fun. Seconder, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for joining us. What sorts of chemicals are associated with strong emotions, and do they affect memory? Ooh, that's interesting.
Well, emotion definitely affects memory. As far as like neurotransmitter chemicals, I mean, a lot of chemicals, right? So, dopamine, serotonin, all of those are like good feeling emotions. And they affect memory. So emotions definitely have an effect on memory. So if you're going through a super negative emotional time, you're going to have these negative emotions or negative memories. Really positive events, you're going to think back on fondly. You're going to have stronger emotions for them. So, what sorts of chemicals? So, those specific neurotransmitters I mentioned. But, I mean, alcohol is a chemical, right?
That's a good point.
There's some people that get very emotional with alcohol. Mm-hmm. That definitely affects memory in a negative, a negative way.
Formation,
yeah, even just forming a memory.
Yeah, that's intense.
It's
easy to lose sight of that. Like we're just like dumping this molecule, ethanol, in our body.
Yeah.
It's going through an oxidation cycle that makes us inebriated, but also damages our brain.
Yeah.
It affects processing. It affects.
Yeah, it's a crazy drug. It's a legal drug.
It's slightly terrifying when you think about it. Like, oh my God! Speaking of take a drink, Huggy Beer has redeemed 2 take a drinks. Are you good? Do you need another one?
I am good so far.
All right, I'm gonna bring.
This other pack has other flavors that if lemonade is not your jam.
No, I drink what my guests drink. It's pretty amazing. All right. Oh no, Huggy Beer has not requested 2 drinks. Huggy Beer has requested a drink.
Well, now I might need another one.
Cheers. Thank you, Huggy Beer, for joining us. Always a pleasure. Talking some neuroscience while doing brain surgery. It's pretty spectacular.
We're just gonna. This restart button is going to be my
favorite. Do it. Let's
actually get this brain transplanted.
All right. So we took a drink. Huggy Beer also requested a factoid. So do you have a knowledge bomb you would like to drop?
I do. Okay, going back to the MR technology. This is a knowledge bomb. So the magnetic field that the MRI we use, it's about 3 Teslas. That is 60,000 times stronger than just the Earth's magnetic field. So it's a very strong magnet. When you walk in, you can feel it. If you have earrings on, it'll tug. If you have a bobby pin in, and to put it into perspective, your basic refrigerator magnet is about 600 times strong, or your the MRI we use at FSU is 600 times stronger than a refrigerator magnet. So it's just very strong magnet.
Yeah, it's easy to lose sight of just how strong that is.
Yeah,
so.
There's a big, it's fueled by, I wonder why that, I'm shifted over. There we go.
There we go. That's a solid grip.
Yeah.
Take that, patient.
Come on, this is a bad brain. We got to get out of here.
So going back to MRI, I'll give you guys some context from the chemistry world. Is that we do something called NMR, which is nuclear magnetic resonance, and it's to measure nuclear spin, and it's how we get structure of most molecules. In fact, if you've eaten a pharmaceutical drug of any kind, chances are that molecule is characterized in an NMR for the first time, how we know the structure of them. And so that was discovered in the 1930s, this phenomena of like nuclear precession, and you could get, the first MRI I think was actually of ethanol, or NMR was of ethanol, so figuring out the structure and the protons in ethanol. And then it transitioned to do this imaging process, which is what we're talking about with MRIs. But they wanted to drop nuclear because it was during the Cold War that it started to grow in popularity.
Got scary,
Yeah, nuclear was a swear word, so now it's MRI instead of nuclear MRI. So yeah, fun factoid.
So, okay, if it was in the 1930s, no, wait. So people that said over 50 years old.
Yeah.
If you were thinking of NMR.
You were right. Yeah. 1930. So the Nobel Prize for NMR, the original like nuclear, polarization, that was in the 1940s when it was actually recognized. But the actual utility in medicine didn't come till, that's crazy, like 30 years later, like making it actually useful.
Science is slow to translate into clinical practice, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's fast. Sometimes it's slow. And this is one of those things like you could be, if you're a senator and you're like, why the hell are you putting a magnetic field and using microwaves to change spin precession? And how is this ever going to be useful? And you say, I have no idea. And then 40 years later, this is one of the most powerful tools of non-invasive imaging in the body. Mm-hmm. It's just so underappreciated how fundamental science progresses on those scales.
But even, I just go back to TMS, and somebody had asked about TMS treating depression and stuff. There's a lot of evidence and papers out there showing that it is more effective than pharmaceuticals for some patients. But a lot of times in order to get it, it's not covered by insurance until you've gone through several rounds of different medications. So it'd just be nice if we had we were able to choose what our first choice was, or somehow the scientists or the clinicians could look at your brain, assess, is it a chemical imbalance? Is there more of a network imbalance? Should we target a whole chemical imbalance? Should we target a network that isn't quite synchronized or over synchronized or under synchronized? That might be where you use TMS to try to rebalance the specific brain network. Whereas if you just really low on a specific chemical, then take the drug to boost that chemical back up. But the fact that right now patients have to go through, so many iterations before insurance companies generally will cover TMS. I guess it's one example of things being a little bit slow. And science has shown a lot of evidence for TMS being super effective.
All right, so a couple of comments on gameplay. Not gameplay per se.
Yeah.
Here
Any advice, guys?
This looks less like brain surgery and more like trepanning. Trepanning.
I don't know what that is.
Pronounce that is, but I just Googled it. It's the surgical intervention in which a hole is drilled or scraped into the skull, exposing the dura mater. And so in ancient times, trepanation, I don't know how you pronounce it, trepanation, we're going to say, was a type of neurosurgery used to treat head injuries, heal certain symptoms, and for ritual and spiritual reasons. So, drilling a hole in the brain, which, that's not that far off modern surgery.
Yeah.
It's just we do it much more surgically.
Precisely.
Is it me? I think this patient has no arms. I think their arms are strapped in. You see them holding tight on the...
It's because I'm slamming his motor cortex, and normally his arms would be flailing all around, hitting me, and it would just be...
This game would be a lot more fun if it did have the arm,
right? That's level 20. We're only level 3, guys.
Cool. What I love about this is this. So this game has like 5 surgeries. So it goes from heart to kidneys to brain to eyes to something else. I don't know what the 5th one is.
Oh, that was a really fast,
But
quick remember.
after you beat all 5 of those surgeries, then it starts like you have to do the surgery while in the ambulance. So it's like bouncing around. And then like the next level is like doing it in space where everything's floating around and you have to grab it out of the air. Yeah. I recommend this game. 10 out of 10, brain surgery simulator or surgeon simulator in general. Not enough leeches or bloodletting. I mean, so related to that, is there something in your field or your expertise that's gonna, in 50 years, is gonna look ridiculously barbaric? I mean, even this idea of TMS, is this gonna look like we were messing with forces we didn't understand? What's your...
I mean, I hope not, because then I've been like really contributing to that.
I mean, but in retrospect, it
of
all
course.
looks legit, right? It looks like...
Yeah, I guess I hope that, right now it is still pretty crude. We're putting a great big magnet up against the head, and when you look at the model electrical field, it is still quite spread. So yeah, I hope that our technology continues to improve and become more precise and more focal and, better. Of course, always better. So yeah, I hope that what we're using in 50 years looks crude and like, I can't believe we are doing this. But something that other people are doing.
Yeah, I didn't mean to call you out.
No, I didn't.
It's one of those self-reflection things.
Yeah.
We do think we're on the cutting edge. We're doing things because we think it's right and it's going to help people. And ultimately, turns out leaded gasoline was a bad thing. CFCs were bad for the environment. You couldn't have known. So.
Yeah. Man, I hope not. But there's a chance. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Some questions. How much sleep should we get each night for our brains to be healthy and happy?
I think they say like 7 to 8 hours for like young adults. Older adults, like elderly, they tend to sleep less. I don't know if that's ideal, but that's just the trends. But yeah, 7 to 8. Some people need 9 to feel their best. Some people only need 7. There is a thing of getting too much sleep. It makes you kind of like groggy. So yeah, just what you feel is your good set point. 7 to 8 is probably a good thing to aim for.
And that's evidence supported, like long-term memory formation, replenishing neurotransmitters.
Even like long-term protection against like dementia and Alzheimer's and cancer. I think there's also like every disease is related to sleep deprivation, it seems like.
That's fair. Misadventures. I need 10 and it's not a sign of health.
Wait, what?
I need 10 and it's not a sign of health.
Yeah. Yep.
I sleep 5 to 6 and then 1 hour on the subway each way. It's fair. How do you feel about afternoon naps?
I'm not a huge napper, but my partner is, and he swear like I see like how great that is for him. So, I mean, I mean, you're
don't know. Pretty open. I think you can do it. Take that. Like those chunks are out of the way. I think you got it.
Come on, little brain. Oh no! Now it's gonna be like my.
No, it's so close. Come on. How is that not enough? I misled you. I apologize.
Get out. Okay, let's get this thing out.
We threw the hammer. Got a bunch of questions. All right, so we have about 20 minutes before NARC. Can you keep playing this?
Right.
I mean, we can do 20 minutes of this.
Yeah.
We're going to get that brain cut out.
Unless people are like getting really not liking this.
So here's the thing. I don't
You
care.
don't care.
No, like as long as we're fun.
Oh. Yeah, I do want to get the brain out.
All right. Gohaku. Are brain surgeries usually performed with the patient's upright or laying down? Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I guess I always assumed laying down or like tilt turned or whatever, but I guess now that I'm sorry, I got distracted by thinking about that.
No more questions. Molly's at a key moment. Gotta get just inside of there. Yeah, there we go. Down like that.
Oh, the little temporal cortex.
Sorry, spatial reasoning gone.
Oh, okay.
Patience crashing. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Marissa. She's the one that suggested I play this.
Yeah.
If she plays this game,
You're so close.
how the heck she does it?
Maybe get it up and then...
And down somehow. How do I go
Yeah.
down?
Let's click the left and then like right and then lean forward.
Oh,
Close. Go, Haku. Patient is crashing. Come on.
it was going so well. You're right, game.
Huggy Beer. I've seen things about strobing lights help the brain garbage collection. Helping the brain garbage collection. I'm skeptical, but it can cause seizures. So do you have any experience with that research?
I don't, but I think I know what you're talking about. It was in rodents. They had, it's like a form of stimulation, but it was like light stimulation. It wasn't optogenetics or like anything like that, but they were like strobing, I think, lights at like a 40 or 50 hertz frequency.
Oh, interesting.
And if I'm remembering correctly, wait, what did they say is the question? Oh, the brain garbage collection. So that's like the glial cells, which is like the immune system of the brain. Yeah, so they would have gone in and collected some of like the junk in the brain, maybe like plaques and tangles related to Alzheimer's. But yeah, also strobing lights can cause seizures. I don't know if that kind of work has been done in humans. I bet it has. Maybe it's been published or unpublished, but that was a big deal at Society for Neuroscience conference. Like the people that did that rodent paper, I remember they were one of the keynote speakers. It might have been like 4 or 5 years ago already at this time. But yeah, I haven't followed, obviously, I haven't followed up on that research or followed it very closely. I just remember, if we're thinking about the same thing. Yeah, it was like a 40 to 50 hertz flashing light. And they reported that it helped brain function. And people were really excited about, okay, could we use this to help clean up plaques and tangles?
That's intriguing. I mean, the frequency presumably matters. Fun factoid, your guys' eyesight refreshes at 10 hertz. So 60 hertz TV looks like continuous motion. I'm curious what the 40 to 50, like there's a very particular like frequency you're oscillating at. It's...
Yeah, and like the fact that it was with like glial cells, I think, or astrocytes, which, you know, we always think of neurons when we think of brain cells, but there are so many glial cells and astrocytes, which are other kinds of brain cells that we kind of really don't know a lot about. They haven't been like the main focus of neuroscience. And I think that's going to be really exciting research, is to see what we discover about those cell types.
Do we think maybe we should use the saw instead of the hammer?
Okay.
I mean, Huggy Beer, I don't know. So I'm basing my entire advice to Molly based on the speed run I watched, which might be misleading because they are very, very good at this game. But when I beat this, I did it with the hammer. So I don't have strong opinions one way or another.
I'll try the saw. This is the saw, right?
We should do another prediction. Let's do one of these guys.
Do I have any more down there?
Nope, that's the last one. So you have the theta and 2 hippocampus.
Maybe this one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put up a prediction right now. If you're not following us, click the follow button, get your standard internet units that you can bet on these predictions related to science questions. And so we are going to pop up a question right now. You guys are going to have 2 minutes to answer. You can't cheat. This is based on knowledge you have right now. Go Haku, I can't do another prediction. Lost both times. I'm sorry, Go Haku. You need to watch more of the stream. Get your standard internet units up. All right, the question is, the adult hippocampus grows new neurons. True or false? Is there any context you want to add? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you want to explain what the hippocampus is?
Yeah, the hippocampus is a deep subcortical brain region. It's really old, so a lot of species have it. A lot of vertebrates have it. And I guess maybe I'll Let's just see what
reveal
you guys
too
think
much.
first.
All right. So adult hippocampus grows new neurons. Is that true or false? You've grown a certain number of those over time and they stay, or do you grow new ones as you get older? That's fun putting it in the context of like mammalian species. Most of them have a hippocampus. Is that
Yeah.
a safe statement?
Yeah.
How do you feel about statement like lizard brain? Like when you say someone's acting with their lizard brain, like very primal.
Yeah. Subcortical, brain stemmy,
Yeah, like involuntary, primal.
instincts,
Yeah.
and
So that's
Okay, I feel like my
procedural,
W is-
presumably.
I would say more reflexive or instinctual.
Yeah.
More reflexive, I feel like, is very reptile and
That's fun.
reptilian.
It's weird.
Okay, this is why we can't use the saw, is because they make it super tricky to pick up.
Seconder. It's where the place. It's where the place cells are. Place cells.
Hippocampus, yeah.
What's a place cell?
Yeah, so place cells are.
Oh, you guys have 15 seconds. Sorry, keep going.
Should we?
No,
The place
good.
cells might require a longer explanation,
Okay.
unless you
Okay.
want to.
Let's wait till after this answer.
Or a
then.
longer discussion.
If I remember place cells, because I'm like 3 hard kombuchas in.
Yeah, I forgot my thumb. There- oh! Cut myself.
Game is amazing. We'll let you vote at the end of the night. What's better or worse, this or NARC? It can go either
Oh
way.
gosh, yeah.
NARC is coming. You got about 15 minutes. It's
Okay.
fine. All right. So, Molly, what's the answer? The adult hippocampus grows new neurons. True or false? We have a 50-50 split on this.
It
Close
is
to.
true. It's one of the few brain regions that actually continues to grow new neurons. So a lot of times you probably hear like, oh, you produce all of your neurons. Oh, this guy's bleeding real fast. And then your brain stops growing, and by the time you're 24, you're just losing neurons, but the hippocampus continues. It's called neurogenesis. It's one of the few brain regions that has neurogenesis. So that's pretty cool. And it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense, right? You're forming new memories. You almost, it makes sense. At least I think it does.
It's intuitive.
Oh,
fair.
look at this, like blood just,
Oh, yeah. Just.
He's
That
going.
was a good cut, though. Look at that. Right at the base of the metal plate. Neuro Nintendo? Yes. NARC is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. That's like neurosurgery, right? All right. Master Kathy Bate.
oh, it's Cameron again.
Can you learn info from brains of people that have passed away? Like Ted Bundy, was anything learned from that?
Oh, like, yeah, I know
Like
there's,
post-autopsy, gray matter, like ratio kind of thing people look into?
yeah, I know they have like Albert Einstein's brain. His was actually smaller than the average brain, but it
Yeah.
had way more like folds and was way denser.
Yeah.
I do know there is a scientist, maybe at the University of Chicago. There is a neuroscientist somewhere who does like collect serial killers' brains. Collect.
You know, that's healthy.
Because he's trying to figure out like, is there something about them? I don't know that research well enough, but I think there is something that, you know, like maybe their prefrontal cortex isn't as, I don't know, functionally connected, or their amygdala isn't as big, so they don't have this. Amygdala is like part of the brain that is involved with emotions. There's probably some empathy pathway that is messed up.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, how much of that is like do we know enough to see like a brain, a static brain that's not functioning anymore, and assign that? Like we have sizes, we have shapes, we have like
Yeah.
folds, but like how much? I don't know.
yeah,
I'd say that's not.
yeah, I would say it's not enough. I would say you need functional MRI and then a specific task to really understand the context of like what this activity means, because it is still very crude technology. Like, you know, again, remember MRI is fairly new,
Yeah.
so it is still fairly crude. It's just looking at indirectly measuring brain activity by way of like where the blood is traveling and how much it's oxygenated and stuff. So your neurons need oxygen. So as a particular cluster or region of neurons are more active, like in a memory task, your hippocampus would be more active. So more blood is flowing to that region, so the MRI is able to measure that there's more oxygen going to that area. So it's still very crude. It's like you're indirectly measuring a lot of things. But even that is better than just looking at a brain. You know, because there's some people who they don't know it. They're functioning and living completely normal, healthy lives. It's just they go in for like some random MRI, maybe for a research study, and they realize like, oh, I don't have a corpus callosum, which is a really important part of the brain, or we deem really important part of your brain that's connecting the two hemispheres. It's like, wow, how has this person been functioning without a corpus callosum? Or like they might have a huge part of, one of their lobes is missing, but they have somehow survived without it. So just by looking at the structure of a brain isn't super informative. But if you have like a large sample size, like, I don't know, 100 serial killers, and they all have an amygdala that's shaped crooked or whatever, then you compare that to people that aren't serial killers, maybe that informs you. But a lot of our brain isn't like just region specific, like this region does this does this. It is a network and patterns of activity. So
So Lori has a follow-up. There's an episode of SVU that the medical professional mentions how violent person's brain looks versus a non-violent person. SVU is Special Victims Unit. Is that like Law and Order or something like that? But yeah, apparently someone was talking about violent versus non. I can't do it. Like a post-autopsy, this person is violent versus
I mean,
non-violent.
I'm sure there's like a correlational study out. I'm sure there's a reporting out there, especially but like if we measured your brain, we're like, oh, you have the brain of a serial killer. That doesn't mean you're going to be a serial killer. It's still probably pretty crude. I think there's way more of like patterns and activities and patterns over time and in multiple contexts.
I mean, so this relates to Gohaku's question, which is how does one get more brain folds like Einstein? But I'll step back and take this more broadly. It's like nature versus nurture question, right? How much of this brain function, shape, whatever outcome is biologically determinism versus growth and development? And that's obviously a huge question. I don't expect you to answer, but is there a consensus on, I don't know, 50-50 or some kind of...
I think 50-50 is fair. I think there's some things, like there are some disorders and pathologies that are very genetically... Okay, I'm getting pretty good right now. Sorry, guys.
Huggy beer. A hammer helps get more folds.
Maybe not good folds, but...
We are not medical doctors. This is not an advice channel. Do not listen to anything we say, but we're doctors. That's amazing.
Come on. I would say most things are probably 50-50.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of lifestyle influences, like it's not just nurture from when you were developing and like it's not everything's your parents' fault, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of what we choose to do and what happens to us, I think experience also plays a major role. Folds?
Don't forget epigenetics. Yeah, that's... Yeah. What are the folds, like fat folds? No.
Yeah, just like if you see... Let's turn this into a neuroanatomy class. Get out of here, Hammer.
There it is.
So just those folds, the sulci and the gyri.
Point with one finger.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Put the rest of
Oh, sorry, guys.
That's fine. You can point with that one.
Wait, what's the finger that...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I figured it out.
All right. We're going to point...
That part, I probably should have had that figured out this whole time, right?
Molly, I insist you teach class with Surgeon Simulator. Just bust this out for your students.
These are, so...
Oh, no. Okay,
the sulci is like the part that's raised, the lighter color, and then the gyri are the grooves. So it's just a bunch of folds. And so if you think of a piece of paper, if you lay it flat, but then it's 8 by 11. Once you like scrunch it up and fold it, you can really condense it into a really tiny amount of space. So that's the idea of the cortical folding, is that you can fit more surface area in a smaller bit of space.
Let's detour. Let's open this guy.
Okay.
Let's grab the brain out.
Okay. Oh, I forgot my thumb.
I think you can just like swat it or something. Okay.
Right.
So now you're gonna want to like turn it down. Go in there. Let's grab a brain. I think
this way.
Right. Yeah,
there we go. There we go. Open. I gotta turn a little bit. Down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just put it out on the countertop. Can you grab it? Let go of the left button.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you
Pull
have
it
figured
out.
out how to play this.
Pull it out. Let's just move it down. Let go of that button.
Okay.
Holding. Let's set it down.
Okay.
Can you point to the regions of the brain and what function they have? Oh man.
Oh, that's a pretty good view, actually. Look at
This
that.
is an educational, all right, so one finger. All right.
Okay, the
let's
problem
play.
is he's going to run out of blood before
No,
I
we
get
got
my...
this. You have plenty of time. All right, there we go. All right, what are the regions
So
of the brain?
this is the temporal cortex. Behind, if we could like cut the brain in half and like flip it over, then we would see that's where the hippocampus is. So you have a hippocampus in both hemispheres. This is the cerebellum. It's the little brain. The cerebellum, I think we were talking about a question of like what's going to happen or what's a future innovation.
Yeah.
I think figuring out what the cerebellum does, we currently just think of it as like procedural memory, and it's just this thing back there that helps you stay balanced. And when you're drunk, the cerebellum doesn't work anymore. That's why you get like floppy and dizzy when you walk.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of evidence that shows it's highly connected and involved during different cognitive processes. So I think there's more to figure out about the cerebellum.
That's fun.
So, and then back here is the occipital cortex. So this is a large part of our brain is devoted to processing visual information. We're a very visually heavy species. Up here, if we are looking more at the top of the brain. We're looking at the motor cortex and the sensory cortex. And then all up here is a big chunk of the prefrontal or the frontal cortex. Here's the prefrontal cortex. Underneath here is some of the piriform cortex, which is part of like the olfactory system. And kind of where that hole is, it looks like that's where they have the brain stem coming out.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was, ladies and gentlemen, no other stream on Twitch will give you such detailed
wow, look at
inspection of the brain. There you go.
There we go. Now if we could cut it in half, then we could probably... I wonder if this game has a hippocampus in there.
Man, I doubt you can cut it in half, but it was worth a try. Just set it down and grab a scalpel. Oh, no. Nope.
Okay,
Look
that's
at
pretty
that.
good.
Look at that.
You think the scalpel or should... I probably have better luck with the scalpel at this point.
Gohaku. Allegedly, the whole story behind the removal and storage of Einstein's brain is a super scientifically problematic. Yeah, it was like not kept track of, right? And it was stolen or stuff
I don't know.
you should know podcast did a story about it. That's interesting. Now she's playing with it. Yeah, don't play with your brain. Speaking of playing with your brain, Gohaku wants to know any benefit of those claw-like scalp massagers you can buy from Amazon. Does that count as transcranial stimulation?
No.
No? The massage on the brain?
No, I don't. Not that I know of. I mean, if it feels good. It probably benefits you.
Exactly.
Like any benefit, if it feels good for you, then that's a benefit, right? But I don't know of anything where it, no.
All right, so we're at 10:25.
Okay.
We should try one more good run at the
Okay.
surgery. We're gonna cut out the brain on this one. This is it. Well, you know how to grab the brain now too, so
Yeah, that was pretty good.
all you have to do is drop it inside there. You don't have to attach it or anything.
Okay.
Because that's how surgeries work with brains.
Yeah.
Oh man. So no on the no formal.
Not that I know of, except, yeah, if it makes you feel good, then that's a benefit.
All right. Misadventures, big one. What's Molly's take on free will?
I think we have it. That's, I guess, not a really big take, but
Yeah.
I think I have.
Oh no, he's floppy headed already. You might want to restart this one.
Okay.
We'll get one good run at it before we win the war on drugs and play some NARC.
All right. Is that the theme of the game?
So something I wrestle with in terms of brain function, and I guess
Yeah.
I don't fully understand, but I mean, at its basic level, let's say you have a photon hit the receptor in the eye, it goes up the neuron, and you have like a action potential and neurotransmitters. And like, I can't envision a scenario where that isn't deterministic, right? Like where one triggers the next, triggers the next.
Yeah.
And the outcome
crap.
is inevitable. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Like I struggle to reconcile that with I think I'm thinking something right now, you know?
But how much of that is just sensory processing?
Mm-hmm.
Just low level
Yeah.
sensory processing
versus a high level. And this is what
Versus
Justin
high-
talked about, right? Like
Okay.
this macroscopic manifestation of something
Yeah.
bigger. I don't know. I don't know how to, because even like you take all the cars on the highway and they have this emergent behavioral pattern, but at their level, it's like press gas, go forward.
But then you have like the crazy drivers that are just messing that whole system up, right?
That's fair.
Like it's not always predetermined.
Yeah, that's intense. But are their actions predetermined because they're already lunatics because their parents didn't hug them? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think, there's some parts of our brain processes that are, and I mean, it's kind of like brain versus mind versus are we
Yeah.
just are we just like action potentials, or is there something else that's relying on the action potentials? Like our consciousness, like what
Yeah.
is...
Well, so I guess the follow-up to you then is it that you want it to be more, or that your expertise leads you to believe it's more?
I wonder if how much of it... It's hard sometimes to differentiate like my expertise versus like just what I think now.
Yeah,
I think that's another like side tangent. Like cool thing about academia and like this kind of career is that it is very personal to me. It's not just a job that I leave at home. It's something I think about a lot is like, what is the brain doing? What is, how does it work? How does it lead to our identity and who we are and how we behave and what we give back to society and whatnot.
Yeah.
But sorry, what was the bigger question? What was
It's
the
about
original?
free will and the, like, do we want it to be real?
Oh, do I
or
just want it to be, or is it guided by? Yeah. So, yeah. How much of this opinion is truly an opinion and a wish versus, I don't know. I feel like I genuinely.
What I love is that you're like 2 hard kombuchas in playing Surgeon Simulator, like contemplating this existential problem of, determinism versus free will versus.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer this. It is too late at night. We're playing NARC in like 5 minutes. One more good run.
Yeah, one more good run.
One more. Either we're gonna save the patient or murder them. We're gonna see how.
It's
this
probably
unfolds.
going to be another murder. Let's be real, but.
One more.
We are going to get more. It's going to be a good run. It might not be successful, but it's got to be good at least.
Huggy Beer. Ken, you saw the speed run. I need to know what the game plan for closing up this guy after his brain is implanted. So there is no closing up. You just need to get the new brain inside the cranial cavity, and that's the win. Same thing with heart surgery. You
Just
cut out
plop
the
it
other
in.
heart and you just plop it in there. That's a win. So yeah, believe it or not, this is not a realistic simulation of brain surgery. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Not a medical doctor, at least.
Yeah, you're not a physician.
Yeah, exactly. But in our defense, we were doctors when they were still cutting up people in barber shops. So, just saying. All right. Catching up on things. And we should do one more prediction, but I will get the speed run timer up.
Oh, he's going to die soon.
No worries. It was a valiant
This
run.
isn't a good run. This was like my average, which is probably very pathetic in like people that actually play this game. I mean, I kind of want to see this. I'm going to go home and watch
the speed run. You
like a
should.
professional play this game.
It is like 30 seconds. It is ridiculous. They just swing the hammer, the whole skull cap is gone.
Wow.
It is absolutely amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for NARC. You have about 30 minutes to beat the game, which is probably a good timeline. I think you gained a lot of gameplay skill playing Surgeon Simulator, so I think this is going to work out.
I'm going to run to the restroom.
Yep, let's do it. All right, are you guys ready for this? Sorry, just changing monitors. Let me pause the other computer. All right. Yeah, so to run Surgeon Simulator, I need a mouse and a keyboard, but I need my mouse and keyboard to actually control the stream and whatnot. So I actually run a secondary laptop through the monitor to run games like Surgeon Simulator and anything we need a PC for. So we're switching between several different game platforms. Speaking of which, there we go. Molly is in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for some NARC. Get your big head emotes out there. Mr. Big is ready. Yeah, the background's pretty fun. My wife actually took a bunch of my, I put together a bunch of images. I don't know if you saw the background art here.
Yeah.
It's a nice combination. That's Taxol behind you. Breast ovarian cancer drug discovered at FSU.
Cool.
Plus some Zelda, Space Invaders, whatnot. But now, we are on to NARC. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? All right, Molly, so we're closing the night. You can see that timer right there. Do you want to be able to see that or not? It's up to you. I can move it off the screen. You don't want the pressure of it?
No, I don't want it.
All right, I will move it over here. You have very little context to know what's a good time. Yep, that controller right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ask a Scientist Gaming, mediocre gameplay expert, science. Mediocre gameplay includes closing every single stream with my guests being forced to play NARC for the first time in their entire lives. NARC is a bargain bin game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and when I say bargain bin, I literally mean that. When you walked out of Blockbuster, this was what was sitting there in the $2 bin. But NARC, I have the game cartridge right here, so we're going to read you some lore, Molly, so you know what you're getting into. You know the backstory behind what you're playing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are Max Force. Your mission, bust Mr. Big and destroy his dreaded criminal empire. Seize all contraband, stolen money, illegal weapons, use rocket bombs, high-powered machine guns, apprehend all suspects, protect the innocent, punish the guilty, and stop at nothing. You ready?
Okay.
So press start.
Wait, so I'm the NARC, right?
Yes, you're the NARC. You are, I don't remember his name. His name is what is it? Max Force. Your character name is Max Force. Just say no. All right, press start. What's Blockbuster say? All the Gen Z and millennials? In my defense, I am the eldest of the millennials. So born in 1982. So I still count as that umbrella. But so you're going to walk right. So tapping B jumps, holding B squats, tapping A rockets, holding A is bullets. And so you're going to find doors and you're going to walk through them, and I'll try to walk you through all the things that happen along the way. Max Force is clearly the blue guy. What's the red guy's name? I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, that was a door.
No,
is this a door?
Keep going. You're going to find a red card on the ground.
Are these am I going to die or anything? Should I be not avoiding the bullet?
No, just keep walking. Right. You will die, but you have infinite lives.
California.
Red and blue. There we go. So through the door, walk right. You're going to find a key card slot. All right, here's the names. I just looked them up. Max Force is the blue guy. Hitman is the red guy. Keep going right. You'll find a slot. Oh, Commie Carl. No misadventures. Hitman.
I did die. But I got back up.
This thing, you have the key card. Now go through the door. Perfect. Sorry, I missed some questions here. Seconder has one. We're going to distract you while you play. No pressure. It's just all your colleagues will judge you accordingly.
Yes.
This actually goes in your 10-year package.
Good. Can it go on the R1 grant or NIH?
No, you don't need broader impacts for NIH.
Yeah.
No, this counts for NSF, but not NIH. Keep going.
Right.
Keep going. You'll see an arrow over it at the end.
TV loans, lots of loans, some liquor.
Seconder, I wonder if there's any meaningful difference between free will and determinism so complex we'll never be able to predict it. So Eugene and I, the quantum chemists, were talking about this. Quantum mechanics says, you can't, there's certain outcomes that you can't predict, right? That doesn't mean they're not deterministic. It just means you can't predict them.
Right.
And perception-wise, there's no difference between those two, but logistically there is. All right, so here you're going to shoot the guys wearing black with bullets, so that's holding A. And you're going to shoot them at close range. Yep, so kill
get really close to them?
Yep, one of them's going to drop a blue card, so shoot the brown guys.
Oh, that one?
Nope, it'll be blue. It'll say safe on it. So, right there, that card.
A dog.
Yep. So you can hold both buttons to shoot the dog.
Aww.
That's fine. It turns into a puppy. So hold both buttons, shoot, shoot, and not that one. Press that one again. There we go. Both of them. So go back and forth. We'll turn them into a puppy.
Dang it, I keep...
Yeah, the 2 red buttons. Sorry.
Okay.
Two
I
red
know what
buttons.
you mean, I just am not doing it.
Also, you can do it here.
Okay.
So. Stop hitting start. All right. Move
Give
on
it,
this way.
give it the card.
A little further. There we go.
Okay.
Through the door. Perfect.
Whew.
All right.
Never got a puppy, but...
All right. If you guys have any questions, we're in the last, 20 minutes of the stream. Molly's going to win the war on drugs and beat NARC and Mr. Big and all so whatnot while she's being timed. Feel free to distract her with factoids, with questions, with alcohol, with whatever you guys want to throw at her, because this is the fun part of the night where we play this.
Oh, get up, man.
Adventures is redeemed. Take a drink. So cheers, Molly.
Cheers.
Cheers, Miss Adventures. Thank you as always for joining us. We're playing a little NARC.
I might need
closing the
another
night.
one for
You want
NARC.
one more?
Yeah.
We're going to close out with a 6-pack, which I'll
All right.
as victory as well.
That is a good victory.
I do not like the lemon ones as much as
Not
the
as
other
much.
ones.
I tend to not like lemon flavored stuff as much either.
It feels like a
Like
Jolly
fake
Rancher.
lemonade, and I don't really like lemonade. It's just I tend to like the really herbally
Yeah.
ones, not the. Ooh, a car.
No, but if it's like, so go down to the car.
Oh, I should go to-
So you're going to press the jump button. Yep. Tap it. A little lighter. Perfect. Stay on the bottom. Go right.
Wow.
Lori has redeemed Take a Drink because it's NARC Drink and Drive. Cheers. There we go. We're impairing our cognitive abilities.
Yeah, this one's just too lemony.
Yeah.
I like natural lemon and
But it's like a
food,
fake
but-
lemon. It's
Yeah.
like you took a Jolly Rancher and dissolved it in
Yeah.
ethanol.
Yeah, I think the hibiscus one was my favorite, the first one we had.
Yeah, I like that one. It wasn't over the top.
Yeah, it's like floral and
Yeah, I totally agree with that. All right, we have 2 questions we ask every single guest. And so
All
we
right.
talked a little bit about SVU and various different TV shows, but the question is, what movie or TV show gets your discipline right and what gets it wrong?
okay, this is one of my
Sorry,
keep
go
going.
right, jump, yep.
Oh,
These are garbage
jump.
cans, believe it or not. Just tap it a little lighter. There you go. Keep going right. All right, movie or TV show, sorry.
Okay. I'm pretty new to movies. I know it's like the weirdest thing to say. I've been told Memento is good.
Oh, and
it's
memory
like
loss.
interesting memory thing. Oh, wait, I haven't seen the butterfly effect, and I think that is really intriguing. The butterfly effect.
Yeah.
It's not realistic to us or anything yet. Okay, what gets it totally wrong? Again, I don't watch a lot of movies. Yeah,
No
movies,
worries.
I don't know why.
So
It's one of those things, I'll watch like 4-hour long YouTube videos and like TV series, but for some reason I'm like, oh, a movie, an hour and a half, I can't do that. I don't know why that is. And I'm changing. I've started to watch movies.
Oh, no
but-
worries. No judgment on that. It's just one of those, like, you have an expertise set that's unique to you.
Yeah,
right?
I know
A
it-
room of 100 people,
Yeah.
you're the only one that'll groan at certain things or be impressed at certain things.
Yeah, there are like on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I've recently discovered that they have really good sci-fi. And so when you think about like the Neuralink, and not that I'm expert in Neuralink or anything, but
Yeah. Like the
But some
Johnny
of-
mnemonics and there's a lot of good brain-related sci-fi. So in that-
yeah,
I mean, even The Matrix. I don't know if you've
The
seen
Matrix.
that.
I recently saw that. Well, recently, as in like in 2020 was the first time I saw it. Just a jump in there, right? Yes. Yeah, I thought The Matrix was
Go
cool.
up to the top. I'm not judging, but half of what I say is a movie quote. Fair?
I know. Yeah,
All right,
it's
so keep going right. One I was going to bring up is Waterboy. So this is an Adam Sandler where
Okay.
he plays football movie, and there's he's just this mentally disabled or slow person that ends up in college because he's good at football. But
Yeah.
there's a scene talking about like why alligators are so aggressive. And
Okay.
He says it's because mama says they have all those teeth but no toothbrush, and the professor says it's because they're enlarged medulla oblongata. Is that a legit claim? Is that a aggression center in the brain?
yeah, it's like one of those like brain stem lizard reptile
lizard
brains.
brain things.
Yeah.
So may have some validity to that.
Yeah, it's like a fun. Yeah,
Okay, so you're gonna get in this.
I don't
you're gonna
know
Stay
much
on the
of-
bottom of the screen.
I don't know if alligators actually do have. I'm sure they do. I bet they do. But
Well,
see on the bottom.
I mean, there's no guarantee somebody did their homework.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like other TV shows that I've.
Not Answering the Good Doctor, but Lucy with ScarJo was not accurate. Are you familiar with Lucy? It was like she. Well, I mean, this debunks right away, but they said she only uses 10% of her brain.
Oh,
she unlocked more of it.
Definitely not.
And when she unlocked 100% of her brain, she integrated into the internet.
Yeah, no, we definitely use more than 10%.
Yeah. I think what Huggy Beer is saying, you need to watch that.
Okay, what is it, Lucy?
Yep, Lucy. And the
Okay.
next time you're on stream,
We'll
can
talk about it, yeah.
Lucy, because it is, oh man. The 10% of the brain, do you know how that started? Or where
No,
that
I
came
don't
from?
know. It probably some like
Going right.
pop side, and it was probably like an fMRI study, honestly, where they're like, it was 10%. Should I just keep running past these
Yeah,
people?
yeah. You'll go all the way to the right. You'll skip the card slot, and you'll go in the final door on the right.
Okay.
I mean, so at any given time, maybe 10% lights up or something like that.
Or well, everything's in with fMRI. It's in a contrast, so it's relative to, and it's what you can actually measure, right? Like we said before,
That guy. Right.
our technology is still fairly crude. Oh, they're fighting each other, but they're probably actually trying to fight me.
So you're going to find a card on the ground,
Okay.
and then you're going to press up through the door. So grab the card, go up through the door, but not do up. Okay, so you're going to do it
came
again.
out. Okay.
Yeah, but don't press up when you go through. 'Cause
Gotcha.
It goes, yeah, it's stupid.
Well, you have this game like you totally know what to expect.
Well, fun
was I supposed
factoid.
to? Oh, I already went.
Because I'm the former speedrun world record holder.
Go
in
this way.
game. So my record in this game is 9 minutes and 7 seconds.
Oh,
But I got beat, and now the new world record is 9 minutes and 4 seconds. So I'm the former world record holder, which is why I know more about
wow!
this game.
I didn't know I was in the presence
Exactly.
of a record.
So that was
holder.
on my 10-year package. So
Nice.
no, it started out as a joke on stream, and then they challenged me to speedrun it, and I found a glitch that made it faster. So better living through science, ladies and gentlemen. So go left, and you're going to shoot these Rambo-looking guys at close range with bullets.
Those
So
are the fast
wait till
ones?
they get close to you,
Okay.
though. So, but you're going to hold the A button
Was
when they get close.
that correct?
No, that was a rocket. So yeah, that bullet. So kill him.
With the
It doesn't matter with this guy. So bullets, then turn around.
Oh,
bullets
this was-
on that guy.
bullets are the fast ones.
Bullets are the hold.
Holding,
button.
okay.
Yep. So go back the other way.
That was
That was
wrong.
a rocket. So they won't drop it if it's a rocket. They won't drop it if they're too far away. 'Cause Nintendo's stupid.
Oh, okay.
you
So I
gotta
need to
till they
wait
get
until they're close.
Yep.
Let me
and then
practice
they'll
with
drop
her.
All right, other big question we ask, and this is one of our favorites. Unlimited budget, no moral qualms, besides keeping the cute penguin on the island. What would you do? What's your ultimate experiment? You got the cards right through that door, through it again. What's your experiment?
Yeah. So it'd be to figure out where. I mean, we know hippocampus is important for memory, but then I think like the big question for like memory researchers is where's the engram? That's what we call like the memory trace. Like where is it in the brain? Where is it stored? How are we saving all of these episodes and events and details and associations and social interactions and relationships and emotions? Where are they saved in the brain? We know it's not just the hippocampus. A lot of other brain regions are involved, but a lot of them. So how are they? Where are they? How are they saved? So I guess like a cool experiment would be to just start taking out one neuron at a time. Just one, and then put it back, take out another one from somewhere else.
Wow.
Just one neuron at a time, and then just because a lot of like cognition, it's not just one neuron, one region. It's a network of things communicating together.
That door right there. Go right. You have the key card.
So what set of neurons? How many of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking for the card with the
keep
key
going
card.
right,
Okay.
Yep. You'll see the big door at the end. So I mean that would be intriguing, one neuron at a time. So realistically, what could we do right now in terms of we could like burn out portions of the brain? I know they do like microelectrodes that they can sense certain like neurojunctions. Can we cut off one neuron at a time at this point?
Not in humans, but
Yeah.
I mean in rodents, I guess. But the problem with that is, do I have this card? Okay, I do.
Yep, you have the next two cards.
A lot of like the cognition, like the episodic memory that I'm talking about, it's a lot of like self-report and experiences. You know, you can kind of study episodic and spatial memory in rodents and primates, non-human primates, but not to the same extent of like when you really think about, oh, describe your 10th birthday party. How do you like evaluate that kind of quality of a memory experience?
Yeah.
In a non-human.
Yeah. So it'd have to be human. It has to be someone that can
it has to be a human.
And the possibility of irreversible damage is where the no moral qualms part comes in.
Yeah, and just one neuron at a time, and more. You add more and more neuron removal.
Yeah. To
figure out, okay, what specific set of neurons, what specific connections, and then after, okay, and not just like just for functioning, but okay, have one human over here where we're doing that to figure out, okay, what affects just the encoding, like the forming of the memory. And then, okay, this human over here, we're going to figure out what set of patterns and neuron patterns and connections are required for retrieval. And then like forgot to play.
It's your time. No worries.
Like early retrieval versus, you know, a year from now and 10 years from now or 20 years from now.
I mean, so that's intriguing. That circles back to our discussion about Alzheimer's, because it's kind of a destructive way to do that, right? Like, but do we understand particular regions that are affected by Alzheimer's? I mean, there's amyloid aggregates and all sorts of stuff, but do we know that fully, or do we understand? Yeah,
it's pretty clear that. Oh, I don't have this yet.
Right. Sorry to intervene here. So you're going to have to shoot everyone on screen.
Okay, with bullets or
rockets, doesn't
anything,
matter.
okay.
But the next bad guy that shows up, you got to hit him with a rocket.
Oh, man.
So he's a rocket, so that's the tap A. Yep, exactly.
Oh, he comes from like many directions.
Yep. So this is phase one of the final boss. Oh yeah, he's looking. Okay, so there's one. You got to do it twice more. All right, we have about 10 minutes left, depending on Molly's time against Mr. Big. If you guys have questions, throw those in chat. Sorry, we're talking about Alzheimer's. Can we detect which regions are affected? And that was pretty close.
Typically, it is like the entorhinal cortex, which is a part of the brain in your medial temporal lobe that is communicates with the hippocampus. Oh, that's two. So I got both of them.
You need one more on him.
Okay. Am I supposed to be able to pick those things up?
Yeah, you can. They're cash and bombs, but you have infinite everything, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So kill the things on screen, and he'll come back one more time. You need to blow him up, and he'll drop a gold card. Sorry, dog. Did you think you'd be shooting dogs and people in wheelchairs tonight?
No.
Or brain surgery? That was a surprise.
I knew that.
All right.
And I guess I should have known by the name NARC that be doing some crazy stuff.
I like this. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so a lot of, with Alzheimer's, the entorhinal cortex is a big part of the medial temporal lobe that is affected, the hippocampus.
So kill the guys on screen, he'll come back faster.
Okay. Oh, there he is. And that's the slower one.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so stand next to him, he'll drop a gold card.
Come on.
There we go. Gold card through the door. That's phase one of Mr. Big.
Okay.
So phase two, what you're going to do is walk to the top of the screen. You're going to jump, and then on the way down, shoot a rocket, and you have to hit him in the hat, and his glasses will come off. And then after that, you'll shoot him in the face. We'll walk through. Seconder wants to know, I guess what I was really wondering about when I asked about neurotransmitters earlier is which of those might be involved in synaptic plasticity?
Wait, sorry, can you?
No worries. So, yeah, walk away from him, turn around, jump rockets. So, Seconder wants to know, what I was wondering when I asked about neurotransmitters earlier is which of those might be involved in synaptic plasticity? Are the transmitters like neuroplasticity is like a repair mechanism, right?
So synaptic plasticity, a lot of it is based on the timing of like the electrical properties. So if you have action potentials that are if your neuron is depolarized or hyperpolarized, I guess it depends. Like some neurons are like not specialized, but they tend to have more receptors for a specific type of neurotransmitter versus another one. So I guess I wouldn't say there's one type of neurotransmitter that's more specific. I can't jump anymore.
Oh, that was close. That was very close.
I would say there is not one that is specific to neuroplasticity, but that's also not my area of expertise, so I could be wrong.
Man, we have 8 minutes left. We should do one of the questions. Which one do you want to do? Support memory or theta? We haven't talked about theta at all.
Let's do theta, yeah.
Because that'll open up a little bit of a discussion. While you beat the final boss and win the war on drugs.
Or if I even can, like, try to hit him. I can't even, like, shoot at the same time as I'm jumping right now.
All right, so we need some context on this question. I'm sorry, Molly, making you do several things at once, but so we're talking about human theta. Well, let's introduce theta before I pop up this question.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about, like, I think we mentioned that the brain, it sounds like the audience has a lot of, like, the brain's chemistry. Asking about, like, different neurotransmitters, but the brain also uses electrical signals to communicate. And so what I focus on is the electrical signal, those properties.
So you can stop there, turn around. So tap, don't press
Tap
this
really
hard.
lightly,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
And then fire.
Yep.
Ugh.
So a little too hard on the taps.
So different, like the different frequencies, the electrical properties of our brain. Firing patterns. Oh, did I hit him?
A little too late. It hit him in the
Okay.
face instead of the hat.
So you need to go
a little
bit higher.
earlier on the rocket.
So some areas of the brain and networks, they will communicate at faster rhythms. Some communicate at slower rhythms. And this can range from like 1 hertz would be a really slow one to like high frequency, which would be like 100 hertz or 500 hertz. Even like 60 hertz is considered high frequency.
Ah, there we go. A little later on there. So close. All right, so that's describing the theta. That's the
The
frequency.
theta
of
is
that?
a particular kind of theta. And I guess for this question, what's our question? Okay. Yeah, so well, maybe we'll just say different species have different properties. So I guess, do you want to read the question?
Yep. So I'll pop this up right now. You guys have 2 minutes to answer this question. Human theta is faster or slower than rats, and so theta is related to this frequency.
A specific
theta is a
a specific frequency band, and it's related to memory, but that's not really relevant to the question about humans versus rats.
I mean, this is intriguing because most of us know nothing about theta, and this is like, is it better to have faster or slower? And I guess that's the nature of the question. It's like number of neurons does not reflect intelligence kind of thing. Yeah. That's fun.
It's more like a species question of how our brains are wired.
Here's an interesting question, Gohaku. Is Dr. Molly the first guest to wear sunglasses on stream?
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be true, actually. It's still sunny out at 7:30 at night, so half the year it just doesn't happen. Man, that rocket was really good. It was just he wasn't on
I was practicing, and after
Yeah.
my practice...
So much wasted practice. All right, stop there. Yeah, that was close. it's so
it's like
close.
the weirdest little monster, too.
So did your island character. Was that intentional? Did your island character have sunglasses?
Okay, I am pretty sensitive to sunlight, so I do always have sunglasses when I leave the house.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, interesting factoid, the prevalence of cataracts and eye damage is higher in southern hemispheres.
Oh,
because the
I don't doubt that.
sunlight, it's just constant bombardment.
Yeah, moving down here, my skin is having I think I might be allergic to the UV. I don't know what. I'm going to the dermatologist in a few weeks to figure out this rash. It's like this itchy, horrible reaction.
So our family started doing dermatologists just regular, so much sun, right? It does matter. You're getting... Mr. Big also has sunglasses. Coincidence?
Maybe this is why I can't kill him. I feel like a kindred spirit connection with him.
We can't do it. All right. Human theta is faster or slower? Molly, what's the answer?
It is slower.
Wow. 93% got that right.
Wow.
that's intriguing. Was there a correlation between theta and intelligence or processing or?
So it's probably like the processing. So we're like bigger. And also like when we think about, we're slower. We're thinking a lot of complex thoughts, sleep and memories. We're consolidating a lot of information across our different brain regions. Whereas rats specifically are, responding to their environment. It's quick reaction time.
Yeah.
Was that a good one or is that too low?
That was a little too low. So on the way down, it's tap B. I think a lot of it is tap lighter than you think you need to. Mr. Big also has sunglasses. The roller coaster we've been on this evening with questions and whatnot has been pretty spectacular. All right, did I miss anyone in chat? Did I miss any standard questions that we need to ask? Oh, Earth is flat anti-vax equivalent in your field? I would say the 10% brain use is one of the...
I think that's a big one.
What else is there? I mean, the controlling objects with your mind, telekinesis.
I think one thing that when a lot of people think about like, oh, I wish I had a better memory. A lot of times they're thinking, oh, my memory is supposed to be like I'm replaying the video clip of what happened, and that's not actually how memory works. And I forget where I heard this. This is not my original analogy, but I think it works really great. But memory is more like improvised jazz. Like you're recreating. You're just kind of riffing off of like your previous the previous details of your prior experiences. It's not a perfect just like replay of a video clip. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's like
with that said, though, there are certain people that are uniquely their brain function where they remember everything down to the day, everything they ate. Who's
the memory
celebrity that has this? It's like Gina Davis or something has perfect memory.
Like not just photographic memory, but
just like pick a date and they'll tell you exactly.
Yeah, okay, maybe that, back to a question where you asked about, like, what kind of person would you want to do a stream with?
Yeah.
Maybe it would be somebody like that to try to get at, like, okay, were you born like this? Did you develop this? Do you want to come in an MRI with me real quick? Come on over here.
Yeah, Mary Lou Henner has a highly superior autobiographical memory, a rare condition identified in only 100 people worldwide. And so they have basically perfect memories. Oh, man, that was a good roll of... autobiographical memory. There it is. Yeah. Mary Lou Henner. Yep. She was in Taxi? Yeah. Oh, you got him. Okay. Now shot to the face.
Oh, just like shoot it.
Normal rockets. Rockets.
Rockets are the
tap. Yep. So tap a rocket. Oh, a little less.
Oh, get out of my way, mister.
So that's the hard part. Now you're onto the.
Okay. How are we on time? Am I like gonna?
I'm not telling you. You didn't want the time. So tap it less, gentler. It's getting antsy now. It's high stress.
Oh. Wait, actually, I'm getting close now.
Walk away, turn back, tap rockets. Just gentle A button. Less. There you go. Okay. Now you're gonna go between these two black lines. Run away. Then you're gonna turn around and hold A, and move up and down while you're hitting A. Okay. So now turn back. It's gonna get on screen, hold A. Now walk away, do it again. Hopefully some of those bullets hit. All right, if you guys have any questions, Molly's very close to beating Mr. Big and winning the war on drugs. If you have any last minute questions, Huggy Beer has one. What's an elevator pitch for what you do? So 30 seconds on the elevator with Bill Gates, why he should give you money. What's your pitch?
Yeah, so I am trying to understand how episodic memory works. How does it work? How are we able to encode and consolidate and retrieve our everyday life experiences? And a lot of times they're not just like these separate processes, but we're encoding and learning and retrieving at the same time. And I want to do it non-invasively in healthy control. So I don't want to do brain surgery, obviously. So can we use
we learned tonight?
Can we use some non-invasive measures to understand this in healthy humans, and then just enhance that, make it better as we age. Yeah,
I guess that's the part of the pitch, right? If everything works out perfectly in your research, what do you enable? Like, what would?
Yeah, I mean, ideally,
a drug or.
Okay, so I think ideally is okay, we've developed this non-invasive brain stimulation technique. You can come in on the weekends or like once a week, and we're just going to give you this 20-minute session, and it's going to be targeted to your memory network.
Oh, there we go.
Is that getting good?
Two more. Yep.
Two
you
more?
got
Okay.
Two more. You're really close. So go right. Get away.
Gosh, he
You're
just
so
keeps
close.
sitting on me.
You're so close. Get back. Turn around.
Is there some quick?
No. Last two are pretty easy.
Is there some quick?
Done.
Oh,
You're
wow.
Go right.
Go right. Is there something like 20 minutes a week you come in and get this protocol? That's going to help you just retain your memories. And it's not necessarily that you want to remember more. I think that's also kind of maybe like a myth in memories. Like, oh, you just want to remember more details, but you actually just want to remember better.
Go there. All right. One more level.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything on this one.
Really?
Go
you just
right.
run around and get
Yep.
gold?
Civil forfeiture of the level. You're just stealing gold.
Okay.
No due process, but you don't need any of the gold. Just go to the right. You could use it to forget trauma. Interesting. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be great. I think not just aging and dementia, but PTSD is another memory.
There you go. 28
Oh, I made it
minutes.
within 30.
Yeah, no,
What's
that's-
the worst?
So best is 17, worst is like 38.
I wasn't the worst.
No, you're
I'm shocked.
you're right in there. 28 minutes is solid.
Yes,
but you
average.
saw the Mr. Big equalizer. And now you get to immortalize your initials until I restart this game. Because we have no memory here.
Oh, that is not my initial.
Oh,
Shocking.
Go to
for those who have.
Rub.
Oh,
Oh man, is this flashbacks to Surgeon Simulator?
Yeah.
I do want to
Well, yeah, that's
recognize
close
Molly
enough.
is the first person ever on a Twitch stream to walk through brain anatomy using Surgeon Simulator, which is pretty spectacular. Speaking of PTSD, no, you guys make fun now, but Molly's going to download that game, play it relentlessly for another
no, my
year.
thumb. Well, yeah, that was a lot of like wrist action too.
Man,
That required all sorts of like fingers, thumbs, wrists.
But anyone that's watching it, it's frustrating, but it's also kind of fun. Like when
Yeah.
you get hit right, it is pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys have suggestions on somebody we should raid, please feel free to throw those in chat. But yeah, we're at 11:04. We're right on time. Congratulations. You beat NARC, won the war on drugs in 28 minutes and 32 seconds. Yeah. And they did some Animal Crossing, did some brain surgery, almost cut out a brain. We got it out.
Almost.
It was pretty close. So,
But we held another one. We threw that other one in there, the spare one.
Exactly. But we walked through the anatomy of a brain on Surgeon Simulator. So I'm going to like cut out that clip and tag like Surgeon Simulator. They'll love it. But anyway, Molly, thank you very much for joining me. Thankfully, you had a preview of this stream and realized I wasn't a lunatic before saying yes, but I still appreciate that you said yes to joining me on Ask a Scientist
Thanks for
Gaming.
doing this too. This is a great.
It's
great.
I would do it if no one showed up to stream, honestly, because it's just hanging out, drinking, playing video games. It is a good time. But thank you very much. Thank you all for stopping by. AJ Hermiller is still in the
Oh,
chat.
wow.
Is she Central Time Zone? She's still Ohio?
Yeah, Eastern time zone. Yeah.
Eastern. Okay. Okay. Ohio's Eastern? Is that
Yeah.
right? They don't switch, do they?
No.
Okay.
Not
that's-
until like
that's-
Indiana, Chicago.
yeah. Let's. All right. So thank you for joining us. Thank you all for swinging by. We'll raid some education-related streamers, so stick around. We're gonna transplant our viewers to somebody else. But Molly, any parting words for the audience?
No, thanks. Support science. Yeah. Thank you, Ken.
No problem.
It's fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Our next guest, I have no idea who it's going to be. I'm going to start scheduling the fall semester, so we'll get a psychology somebody in there. But yeah, I'm probably going to start. What's the first day of classes? It's the 26th.
26. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe on the 28th I'll try to do a stream, but we'll have like 3 weeks off before then. But yeah, follow us on Discord, follow us on Twitter if you guys want to get notifications about upcoming schedule. I will get the fall scheduled sometime over the next couple weeks. But yeah, I don't know when the guest is going to be, but tentatively we'll say August 28th. So yeah, keep posted on that. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's awesome that you guys swing by. We get a lot of fun questions, everything from, hardcore neurobiology related things to, what was the early one? Your choice between Middle Earth and,
Oh yeah.
and
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Which one do the important questions that we should be asking a PhD that has a degree in neurosciences. But thank you all for joining. Stick around. We're going to raid some kind of educational related streamer, but it's always a pleasure. Thank you. Keep in touch. We'll be back in, I think, 3 weeks. So yeah, until then.